ICC is a public space, please remember to keep your personal belongings safe and with you at all times. We have many bathrooms for you to use around the venue. They are clearly marked in the foyer and concourse areas. The Durban ICC is a smoke-free building, but we do have clearly marked smoking zones outside the main entrance and in the courtyards opposite the concourse. Please make use of these areas and the ashtrays provided when you smoke. In the event of a medical emergency, please dial the emergency number 031 360 1111 for assistance. The Durban ICC has developed a very simple emergency evacuation plan that everyone must be familiar with. Our staff are specially trained and will be there to assist you in following this plan. In the event of an evacuation, an announcement will be made to leave the venue. Please remain calm and walk swiftly to the nearest emergency exit in the concourse area. These exit doors are clearly marked. Security guards and the marshals will also help direct you out of the building. Please do not use any lifts or escalators in the event of an emergency. Once outside, you will be directed to the nearest assembly point by the marshals for your safety. Please wait at the assembly point until the venue has been cleared and a marshal deems it safe for you to return to your seats. Thank you for your time and enjoy this event.
Thank you very much for the safety video. Let's invite Ekwazini High School from Umlazi to give us to sing our national anthem. Ekwazini. May we all stand up as we sing the national anthem. Thank you. Siyabonga, singahlala phansi sonke, sibadedele, basinikeze i-item eyodwa nje yomculo before siqale. Thank you. Thank you very much. Asibanike ihlombe elikhulu. Bese awokela phansi. Siyabonga kakhulu. This is Ekwazini High School eMlazi. Sibonga kakhulu ngomculo omnandi kangaka. Let's settle down. Thank you very much. Council members, amakhosi asendlunkulu akhona phakathi kwethu, siyakhuleka. Siyabonga, sizizwa sihloniphekile kakhulu. Njengomasipala waseThekwini ngokuba khona kwenu kulomcimbi omkhulu nobalekile kangaka. Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Province umhloniswa Mamnomusa Dube Ncube. Siyabonga kakhulu ngokuba khona kwakho. O-MEC besifundazwe sakithi abakhona phakathi kwethu, amalungu esishayamithetho asuka esigabeni sikazwelonke nasuka esifundazweni, umphathi dolobha, city manager, na wonke ama-officials omkhandlu weTheku, members of the media, na bonke abahlonishwa, amalungu omphakathi wonke waseThekwini, nalabo abangasiyona ingxenye yalomcimbi who are following us through live streaming. Siyanemukela, siyabonga kakhulu ngokuba khona kwenu. On behalf of the eThekwini municipality, I would like to extend a sincere appreciation to you all for gracing this event, the State of the City Address, to be presented by His Worship, the Mayor, Councillor Mxolisi Kaunda. We are very mindful of the fact that this event would have been a success without your presence. We appreciate mostly the presence of the members of the community who are a key stakeholder of the government, and in particular, the local government sphere. What a responsible citizen that you are for taking the opportunity to come and hear the plans being made by the city for your respective communities. As a state sphere of government, this is local government. The address is presented culminating from the State of the Nation Address, SONA, by His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, to the state and the province address, SOPA, by Mhlonishwa Ndunankulu, Wagichi Mamnomusa Dube Ncube, and now at a local level, by His Worship the Mayor, Councillor Mxolisi Kaunda. This is the opportunity for government to its economic and social status, highlighting achievements, challenges, and plans to address those shortcomings through the different spheres of government, in line with the respective legislated mandates. We are proud to be a resilient city. We are still standing strong even following the triple disasters which beheld the city in recent times. Appreciation goes to all political parties which form the eThekwini Municipal Council for working as a team to overcome all challenges. This presentation by His Worship the Mayor could have come at an opportune time, as the Council, we are finalizing statutory process toward approving the 2023-2024 budget, which is the vehicle used for the betterment of our communities. Council members, please note to grace this event, we have learners from Ekwazini High School from Umlazi who have rendered some musical item. On behalf of the council, I'd like to extend an appreciation to the principal of the school, to the teachers, and the entire community of Ekwazini High School from Umlazi. Siyabonga kakhulu. Council members, to note that as resolved in the Speakers and Party Whips meeting that was held on the 24th of April on Monday, that the Mayor's presentation will not be debated in this gathering today. However, political parties will be afforded or offered an opportunity for debate at the next council meeting scheduled to take place on the 31st of May 2023 as part of the 2023-2024 budget debates. With those few remarks, in welcoming all of you, I would like to invite His Worship, the Mayor, Councillor Mxolisi Kaunda, to come and present the State of the City address. I see there are councillors who are raising hands. Let me recognize those hands and hear what are the territorial number 1, Councillor Kosi, number 2, Councillor Mngwangu, number 3. Thank you.
Thank you and good morning, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, colleagues, municipal officials, and most importantly, good morning to our guest, the important stakeholder in this council being members of the public. Mr. Speaker, we've just reported in this council that the address by the mayor on the state of the city will not be debated in this sitting, but it will be debated during the council of May. Obviously, you would recall that the Democratic Alliance, through our whip, Councillor Mkhize, has registered our objection to that decision. We would want to know here as to what informed that decision. Why would you mix two separate items? Because the tabling of the budget is completely different to the state of the city. If the state of the city is going to be delivered today by the mayor, surely it makes sense, Mr. Speaker, that we debate in the interest of transparency and balanced reporting, in the interest of the public. We are able to debate the state of the city today, because we cannot be expected to debate during the tabling of the budget, because as I said, those are two separate items. Therefore, we want to register here and put it on record that as the DA, we want you to reconsider. We implore you to make sure that today we are able, after the mayor has delivered his State of the City address, we are able to respond, react, and debate the State of the City. As the DA, that is our position that we want you, Mr. Speaker, to consider. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Nyambose, Councillor Nkosi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to our guest. Let me recognize the Speaker of the Legislature and MPLs, leaders of different political parties, all the stakeholders that are present here. Honorable Speaker, let me remind you that your committee, the Whips Committee, is a small committee, cannot just take decisions that will able to convince everyone that we can't debate the state of the city today. I'm saying that, Mr. Speaker.
There's a point of order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think a colleague is misleading here. When we are talking about the Whips Committee, it is a statutory body that represents all parties that have been taking decisions in this council, which its mandate has never been questioned. And I don't understand it why now. And also, Speaker, our understanding is that now we are going to allow His Worship the Mayor to talk to the people of eThekwini. We are not in the meeting. After this sitting, we are going to the council meeting.
But
So
the
I
Speaker,
don't
this
also
is no longer a
understand
point
why
of order.
we are
He's
entertaining
addressing
hands.
us now.
Thank you.
This is no longer a point of order.
Thank you. Order. Your point of order is sustained. Proceed, Councillor Nkosi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I understand her problem. She does not understand what is a caucus because she's the only councillor
Nkosi.
from her political party.
You don't understand the proceedings.
Order.
Let me proceed. Let me proceed.
Order.
Yeah, no, I
Order,
understand her
order.
problem.
Councillor Nkosi,
You
proceed.
know, Honorable Speaker, I can go to ESCO meeting and take a decision. Then I have to revert back to a caucus. A
Mkhize, your hand
caucus
is-
decision
Councillor
is...
Nkosi. Councillor Nkosi.
Okay,
Councillors.
okay, I'll take a minute. Let me continue,
No,
Honorable Speaker.
I see a hand from Councillor Mkhize. Mkhize, what is happening?
No, Speaker, it's not a point of order, but I would like you to also...
No. Keep quiet.
recognize me.
Keep quiet. Nkosi.
Honorable Speaker, I don't think that it's a right language to address a councillor like that, to say, keep quiet.
Yeah.
We respect you, Honorable Speaker. And you must remember that there is your senior speaker here. So if you conduct yourself in that manner, I think it will reflect to you very bad. Let me proceed, Honorable Speaker. Here today, we have all the stakeholders. That requires to listen to everyone that is here. We were voted by all these people that are here. So we can't sit here and listen to one side of the story and then we come back in May. That cannot be allowed by IFP. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mwango.
Ngibonga somlomo ngibingelele amakhansela ngibingelele ivakashi kanye namalungu esishamthetho akhona nosomlomo esishamthetho noma ngambonanga nje kodwa ngizokuthiwa ukhona. Honorable Speaker, you just said yourself. You said state of the city culminate from SONA and SOPA. And the state of the nation get debated. State of the province get debated. And it's outside the budget. So what you are proposing or what you say was agreed by the WIPARI is that during the budget, we will then debate state of the city. As Action SA, we can't agree to that. We believe we should have a debate on the state of the city. There is no way, Speaker, we can allow that you could have a state of the city one-sided, because today you are saying we must only sit here and listen to the mayor without challenging the content of what's going to say today. We can't agree to that. So we appeal to you, Honorable Speaker, to review that decision and consider having a debate on the state of the city. The mayor can sing, we can listen, but he can't just speak and then listen without arguing what he's saying. We must debate, and we believe we have a right as councillors to interrogate whatever the mayor will say in this house. So we're appealing to you, Speaker, to reconsider, because we can't really sit here and listen to the mayor without debating what's going to say today.
Thank you. Councillor, Whip of Council, then Madlala.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, sifisa ukwenza le submission. Ukuthi sidedele uMayor deliver a state of the city address. Thereafter, siqale a full council. Then we'll let our councillor in the full council to discuss a state of the city address.
Thank you. Councillor Madlala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm fully covered by the Whip of Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me respond
Speaker.
to the questions and submissions made. I've taken hands now. I have to respond.
Speaker,
No. Councillor Yoki.
Chair, sorry, you've not been looking on this side. Maybe my desk is too much this way. But we've had two cards up here in the DA's front row.
Unfortunately, I can't hear you. Can you please come close to the mic?
You've not acknowledged our hands, and our hands have been up for a while, Speaker. It's Councillor Mkhize and myself. Chair, be that as it may, there are 2 points that I want to raise. The one is that you've not retracted or withdrawn the comments that you made to Councillor Mkhize, which were out of order, asking him to keep quiet. And the second thing we've not heard from you are compelling reasons as to why we cannot debate this. You've not given us legal reasons, common sense reasons, or any other reason why this cannot be debated right now. The only inference we can draw from this is that you want to protect whatever utterances are going to be made by the ruling party from the gallery, because you know the opposition party is going to tear into that. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me respond, councillors. Firstly, I withdraw what the utterances I made to Councillor Mkhize, and I apologize to Councillor Mkhize and to council. Thank you. Councillors, the reason why the whips and speakers committee resolved to have the state of the city presented today, but allow parties to debate at the end of May, is because today, soon after the mayor has finished to address, we are starting the council meeting. Then if the committee have allowed political parties to debate the state of the city address, that would have made the council meeting to start very late in the afternoon or in the evening. That is the reason why we said we want to give political parties sufficient time to respond to the mayor's presentation. We even agreed in that meeting that political parties, in terms of the minutes allocated to different parties, but on the day of the debate, the committee will review time allocated and agree on sufficient time where all parties will have sufficient time to debate or to respond to the state of the city address. That is the reason, councillors and the members of the public, why the committee decided to do that. But I hear the submissions made by political parties. I'm sure if maybe the concern is to have the debate on the day where the budget will be presented, I'm sure the committee will look at that and consider submissions and requests from political parties and come up with an alternative or a compromise or a better way where the budget won't be combined with the debate of the State of the City address. There's no other reason except that the committee felt that it would be necessary
Speaker.
to allow the mayor today, and then end of May we debate, because we have no time. We have to start council late. Let me invite the mayor to come and present the State of the City address. Mayor, come forward.
No,
Speaker,
Speaker, point of order.
Mayor,
Speaker, point of order,
No,
Speaker.
Speaker. Speaker.
there are hands
Speaker,
again. There are hands. Councillor Pili,
Speaker, my hand was
Mthethwa.
up here first.
Councillor Ben, Councillor Mkhize. Raise your board, please. Councillor Mvubu, Councillor Nkosi. After Nkosi, I can't see the board, and then Councillor Mngango, Councillor Ntuli with the last. Those are the last set of hands.
Speaker,
No, competent.
My hands are raised.
You see, you raise hands. I noted everyone. Now you raise hands after.
no, Speaker.
Ben, then
Speaker.
Then Ben.
Speaker,
Councillor, no, I'm sorry, back there, sorry, apologies.
Speaker, Speaker. Speaker. Speaker, Councillor Iso.
Yes, Councillor Bede, Councillor Madlala. I'm sure I noted all the hands. Eh?
No, Speaker.
Yeah, there is it's Councillor Isop.
Yes,
Yeah,
if you notice my hand.
in that order, councillors.
Thank you, Speaker. Good morning to you and good morning to the colleagues and the public and the residents of eThekwini. Speaker, I think there is a very fundamental point which is being made by the DA here, is that the mayor is going to present a state of the city address to this public, to the residents, to the ratepayers. And what we're asking, Speaker, is that we be given an opportunity to also state what we think the state of the city is. Speaker, I think it is only dictators and emperors who speak and no one else speak after that. So it's setting a completely wrong precedent to allow the mayor and his political party to speak unopposed or unchallenged, because what he's going to say, obviously, is challengeable. He's going to paint a rosy picture of what the state of the city is, and I think, Speaker, it is only correct for you to consider that we do have a debate, either in the next 7 days or immediately after he speaks, because that will give us an opportunity to be able to also state what we think is the state of the city is. I think, Speaker, you need to seriously consider that. And I don't think it would be fair for all the political parties here, for the public that's here, because they all have different views on what the state of the city is. And they deserve to know exactly the state of the city. And it can only come from a different number of people who are representing them here, and not just one person. So I again speak on behalf of the Democratic Alliance. I sincerely plead with you that you reconsider and you do what is permissible in a democratic state, which is to give people ithuba elilinganayo ukuthi bakhulume. Siyabonga.
Councillor Beck? Yes.
Ja, baie dankie voorsitter. Ek wil saamstem met my kollegas dat dit baie onregverdig sal wees as die burgemeester vandag sy rede gee en ons eers 30 dae daarna die geleentheid kan kry.
Apologies, Councillor Bede. Please, technical team who are managing the sound system, I'm getting a message that there's a problem with the sound that side. Abantu abezwa kahle ukuthi ikhuluma wasithini. Let's make sure ukuthi everyone uyazi ukuthi T1.
Bafuna isiZulu.
Asilungise sound ukuze bonke abantu bezwe. Apologies better. Proceed.
Dankie voorsitter. Om voor te gaan, ek stem saam met my kollegas. Ons kan nie vandag hier sit en luister na die burgemeester wat vir ons die rede gaan gee en dan kan ons eers 30 dae later die geleentheid kry om daarop repliek te lewer nie. Dit is heeltemal onregverdig. Binne 30 dae kan baie dinge verander en ons moet die geleentheid ons verteenwoordig.
Order. Asimqakela akhulume. Umsindo ongabekho umsindo. Councillor Bhede, proceed.
Ons verteenwoordig die mense van hierdie stad. Hulle het ons ingestem om namens hulle te kom praat. Die burgemeester het die reg of die voorreg om dan vandag vir ons sy beweegrede te gee, maar enerzijds moet ons die geleentheid gegee word om repliek te lewer.
There's a point of order, Speaker. There's a point of order.
Point of order, Speaker.
It's the translation, last speak.
Point of order, Nkumeni.
Translation.
Translation, Speaker. We are trying to use this and no one is translating. Now Bhede is talking to himself.
Okay. Councillor Bhede, proceed.
Dankie spreker. Ongelukkig is ek nie in beheer van die vertaling nie. Ons het dit altyd gehad. Hoekom het weggeval het, dit sal ek nie kan sê nie. Maar weer om terug te kom, ek glo nie 30 dae gaan vir ons die geleentheid gee om 'n sinvolle repliek te lewer nie. Die mense daar buite wil graag vandag hoor en vir ons die geleentheid gee sodat ons kan bevraagteken dit wat vandag vir ons op tafel gelê sal word.
Before I take the point of order, councillors, we have to be mindful of time. As I give you opportunity to engage me on the submission I've made, make sure that you consider time. If I give you an opportunity to talk, please try to be brief and to the point so that we allow other councillors to speak and we close this matter and proceed. Because already all of you are repeating what has been said by the previous speakers. And the speaker has responded already. And I've said, I hear your submission. For sure, the committee will consider your submissions as political parties. Now, if you want to repeat what has been said already, please, I'm reminding you that while we are doing that, please be considerate of time. Better proceed. Sorry, Nkumeni.
Dankie voorsitter.
Sorry, Better, Nkumeni.
Ke a leboha ntate speaker. Ke re a ke hopotse ntate o bolelang kwana gore ha ona le motho o tolegang sekgowa se a se bolelang so that motho kaofela o teng mona a kgone ho tseba gore o reng ntate eo ha sena le motho o buang kwana.
That is the responsibility of the city.
We need to make sure that there is a translator. That is why I'm speaking Sesotho now.
Yeah, thank you.
Boa.
I'm not sure whether an arrangement to have our translator in this meeting has been made or it has only been made for council meeting 2. Sitting here, I can't confirm that Councillor Nkumeni, but if maybe there are no translators, maybe there are other reasons technical that I'm not being informed with, but let's proceed because we have to start, colleagues.
Dankie voorsitter. Ek wil graag tot 'n einde kom en tot 'n punt. Die rede waarvoor ek vra, jy het aangedui dat ons sydens die begrotingsrede sal 'n addisionele tyd beskikbaar gestel word om dan ook hierdie te debatteer. Mense kan nie verstaan nie, die begrotingsrede is al reeds 'n lang uitgerekte proses en dit wil voorkom of ons aangeleenthede met mekaar vermeng. En daar behoort geen rede te wees dat hierdie raad nie kan sit en hierdie kan debatteer vandag terwyl dit vas in almal se geheue is nie. In plaas van 30 dae van nou nie. Voorsitter, is baie ek moet vra vir beskerming. Dit is my reg om u aan te spreek in my taal. Maar dit wil voorkom die mense wil nie luister nie en daar is nie voorsiening gemaak vir vertaling nie. Dis iets wat nogal redelik gereeld binne hierdie munisipaliteit gebeur, dat mense nie die geleentheid het om vertaling te hê nie. Dit is al van tevore gevra, maar duidelik was daar nie aandag gegee nie. Die DA vra dat dit heroorweeg word, dat ons hierdie debat vandag hou en nie 30 dae van nou nie.
Thank you. Then in that order, after Mthetho Ben, Kiza, then we move to Councillor
Mr. Speaker.
Order, let's listen to Councillor Mthetho.
Ek verstaan nie wat Councillor Bette het gesê nie.
Uthini umlungu? Kwenze njani? Uphishela wawe.
Wavuka ukuba umatha umlungu.
You South African geqish.
Order, councillors. Councillor Mthetho, you're on the floor.
Wavuka ukuba umatha umlungu.
Anyway, before I say what I had raised my hand to say, Mr. Speaker, may I request, because I might repeat what my colleague had said, can you have interpretation, please, on what he had said, and what Ngomeni said, because angisibanga ukuthi ubebuwa ngani.
Speaker, Councillor Ben. Order. Order. Councillor Ben.
Somlomo. Speaker.
Can I continue, Mr. Speaker, or are you going to take that point? I'll continue. Mr. Speaker, I have 2 points to make. The first one is a question, the second one is a suggestion. The question is, you said that this was discussed at the Speakers Committee. Was a vote taken at the Speakers Committee, or do you just impose it unilaterally yourself? Did you actually give the other members of your committee the opportunity to vote on this proposal, which you seem to be imposing on us? So that's my question. Was it put to the vote at the Speakers Committee? The second point I want to make is a suggestion. You've allocated in today's timetable an hour and a half for the Mayor to address us. Ask him to cut his address down to 1 hour and give 30 minutes for debate from other parties. It's really quite simple. The only grounds you've given thus far is issues of time. Well, ask the Mayor to shed 30 minutes of his speaking time and allow other parties 30 minutes to respond. It's really quite simple. And I'd be glad to hear your answer on whether you put the issue to the vote.
Thank you. Kiza.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo. Angiyeko kwakithi. No Somlomo okwethu bekuzama ukulekelela Somlomo ekutheni
lekelela njengoba
uma ngabe umhlangano ngoMeyi.
Order, councillors, order.
Uma Somlomo sothi umhlangano ngoMeyi i-debate noma inkulumo mpikiswano namhlanje ayibe ngoMeyi. Sinokhathazeka ukuthi ama questions and notice of motion also ayoba nendima ayoyidlala ngalolu suku. Uma ngabe namhlanje na last month speaker ayengekho ama questions as per the council rules of 27. Maningi kamathuba ukuthi nangoMeyi siphinde futhi sibe nesimo esifanayo. Ingakho bese nombono ukuthi Somlomo namhlanje asi debate ukuze ngoMeyi kube i-budget ngoba nayo iba nesikhathi sayo bese kube ordinary council. Ngiyabuka ke Somlomo kuzwa ama questions, i-debate, i-budget, i-ordinary council meeting siyoba nenkinga Somlomo bese lapho nise democratic alliance. Siyabonga baba.
Siyabonga Khabazela. Councillor Mvubu.
No, thanks, Speaker. Okwethu bekuwukuthi njengeqembu le-EFF asimdedele uMayor deliver i-States of the City address, and then emva kwalokho ke bese sinikezwa ithuba lokuthi silidebate ngelinye ilanga. Ngoba uma ngabe inhloso kuwukuthi sidebate sibe ne contribution esoyenza asikwazi ukuthi nje ekhuluma manje mhlambe mengingaphosisa inkulumo yakhe izoba ngaphezulu kwamapheji amathathu noma amane engeke sikwazi ukuthi eseqeda nje sesiyakwazi ukuthi singena kuyona siyi-debate ku-whips committee njengoba benihlalile nibonisanile namaqembu ahlukahlukene ukuthi ku-propose one so mhlambe singakucela ukuthi ke amaqembu lana avumelane ukuthi siphume sizwi elilodwa ukuze sikwazi ukuthi siqhubekele phambili siyabonga
Siyabonga Councillor Nkosi.
Siyabonga Somlomo ake ngizolana nabantu bakithi abathi abezwe sikhuluma isilungu. Somlomo ake ngisho lokhu ukuthi angazi ukuthi yini le enisabayo ukukhuluma kukhona bonke abantu bese sibuza imibuzo siniphikise la kufanele siniphikise khona sivumelane nani la kufanele sivumelane khona bonke ke abantu abafanelekile bebe kulomhlangano bakhona kodwa ngoba nakho najwayela ama political robot aprogramnywayo ukuthi ayokhuluma ngelinye ilanga nifuna sihlale la singasho lutho thina ke njenge IFP ngeke sihlale ke kulomhlangano silalele umeya asho konke afuna ukusho singakwazi ukukhuluma thina izinto ekufanele sizikhuluma ngiyabonga
Siyabonga Councillor Nkosi. Councillor the next.
Thank you, Speaker. It's Councillor Said. Speaker, I take you back to the 24th, wherein we had our Speakers Committee meeting. And let me remind you that I questioned the issue of quorum in that meeting, wherein there were many councillors and there was much confusion around the link for that meeting. That's number one. Speaker, it also note that in that meeting, you only addressed us on the issue of the venue change, right? And then you told us what it is that's going to happen in terms of how these proceedings are going to continue. But there was no deliberation on exactly whether we will deliberate on it, nor was there any discussion around the issue of time that's going to be given to us in the meeting of May. So please, Speaker, I plead with you, even if we allow this to happen in a half-hour session within the full council meeting, wherein we debate the issue of the State of the City address. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Isop. Councillor Mngango, then Councillor Isop, then I will come this side to Councillor Madlala.
Ngibonga Somlomo. Somlomo mhlambe kumele silaphane ngento ezosisiza la. One Somlomo uMay ukuthi kakhulu. Ngicabanga ukuthi mhlambe singavumelana ukuthi kwakhiwe isikhathi se-debate kodwa leka May ikuthi kakhulu and uyazi nawe ukuthi leyo meeting leyo kuzobe kune budget and ngeke sikwazi ukwenza i-justice ku-debate i-state of the city. Nanokuthi ke khona into eshow Councillor Warren Ben ngokuthi ama-whips yini avumane ngayo ngoba Somlomo iqala apha inkinga as Action SA i-report itholile thina ukuthi abavumelananga. Now kune confusion ke ukuthi le resolution okhuluma ngayo ye-whips committee uyithatha aphi wena Somlomo uma ikhona ungakwazi ukunikeza ama-minutes ayo nokuthi kuvote kanjani whether a majority was in agreement or not, because we're getting a report ahlukene as caucuses. Mhlawumbe ukuya phambili Somlomo kungasiza ukuthi njengamanje before umeya khuluma kungasiza ukuthi ubiza ama-whips ke nixoxe indaba le nivumelane ngento eyodwa ngoba ngeke sikwazi ukuqhubeka nenkulumo kameya singavumelani as council. Uyazi nje uzwa ama-caucus basikhumule ehlukene engafani. Understand ukuthi kwenzakale kanjani isinqumo sithathe izoba ngoMay i-debate. Ngiyacela nje ukuthi kungabe isinqumo sakho nje ubuhleli lapho Somlomo uphume nje ubiza ama-whips nixoxe le ndaba le bese nibuya kuthina nikhuluma ngezwe elilodwa kodwa sikubeke nje ukuthi cha uMay ukuthi kakhulu mhlawumbe ngaba ukuthi uma uthola usuku alube seduzane oluzobe nje luzokhuluma ngale nkulumo le ekhulunywa umeya nanokuthi nje lastly Somlomo angazi noma mina lenkulumo kameya kuya ngonyaka la khona nivuka umoya ngoba ngizwe kweminye iminyaka where is provided kukuphi la umthetho othi khona kufanele ube ne-state of the city uma ukhona ukuphi ngicela legal opinion mhlawumbe umuntu walegal asichazele ukuthi where is it provided ukuthi kumele ube ne-state of the city mhlawumbe uzosikhanda lokho ngoba mhlawumbe ne-guidance izobe ikhona kuleyo document leyo ngoba ubuyizwe ngeminye iminyaka ngeminyaka ungayizwa manje awazi noma iba khona uma kuzama election noma ihlala ikhona every year kunedideka lapho mhlawumbe ngacela nje ukuthi sithole i-opinion ka-legal laphana.
Thank you.
Singayithola opinion uMeya next week.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the ACDP wants to remind you and the House and all the members that are present that in 2021, the residents of eThekwini have spoken where there is no outright majority. And so as we gather here today to listen to the mayor give the state of the city, we as opposition parties are also have a right and an obligation to represent our constituency, to debate and to tell them the facts and to tell them the truth of what is the current state of the city. And so we humbly appeal as the ACDP that you reconsider your decision taken. And if you don't want us to debate, then do what national government does. There's a 1-week period where they reconvene the House so that we are able to debate the state of the city address. So reconsider your decision and take into consideration that all political parties that are present here today represent a constituency and they contribute to the development of the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tuli, then Madlala.
Sibonge somlomo sikubingelele sibingelele umeya na yonke iexecutive baba usompisi na yonke administration councillors nomphakathi wakithi okanye nathi hlamba ngiqale ngokusho ukuthi asixolise kubantu bakithi ukuthi balibefikile bezolalela ukukhuluma kukameya bese siqala siba nento yokuthi sipoliticize lonto ingakenzeki nokwenzeka ngoba sokuhulumeni owodwa not so long ago president of the country was addressing waqeda there was a day that was set for a debate same as we province nala emkhandlwini last time I check basic executives ke salikhuluma lo daba ngoba I'm part of the executive. Now ke into engiyibukayo ngoba mawulalela uchief whip weANC whip of council usicelile ukuthi senze nento eabnormal which is a compromise. Wathi ucela ukuthi at least kokungcono asithi masibuya sesingena ordinary council bese sikwazi ukuthi sixoxe. Vele council yethu is open to public not only now. Yonke nje izifike egcineni umphakathi usibona mangabe sikhuluma. That's why sometimes abantu bakwazi ukusizwa. Now ke umbono umuntu ana ukuthi asingayiqala into entsha namhlanje. Asistike entweni ethi ukukhuluma kwama speakers. Sihlala kule compromise ecelwe whip of council. Uma leyo ama council ayibone ngathi sikude kakhulu. Asenze nathi sithole ithuba ngoba nathi as a party siyakwazi ukuthi makuzo debate ofana sikwazi ukudebate but we prepare ourselves asivale singene debate nje
Speaker
abanga ukuthi lo zinto bengithi ke angizikhulume ngoba ngiyabona speaker ukuthi
Councillor Ncwango
point of order Speaker ukuthi ukansela akwazi athi i-compromise as if senzele favor singama councillor. It can't be a compromise. He must withdraw a statement to say they are compromising as if they are doing a favor for us councillors. We have a right to raise our issues here. So when we say there must be debate, we have a right to say so. That is why I was asking for a legal opinion whether is this provided or not. But to say it's a compromise as if basically favor Tina, no, we can't accept that.
Yeah, Councillor Mngwango, Untuli is on the floor. He's still making his point. Let's allow him to finish his point. Then the speaker will respond to all the issues. As you conclude, Councillor Ntuli.
ngicela nokuxolisa speaker ukuthi ngikhulume isilungu kubeni isintu kungene isilungu. Ikona hlamba abanye bethu bedideka. Into engikholelwa kuyona ukuthi asingabi nento entsha namhlanje lemkhandlweni. Kade sasiba nesikhathi la debate khona asenze ukujwayelekile yiloko bengifuna ngicela ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga Councillor Madlala, the last.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to remind this meeting that there are already more than one motions that have been tabled in this meeting dealing with this matter. The first motion, which Councillor Ntuli is calling a compromise, was tabled by the Whip of Council, saying that since the planning was that there's going to be the state of the city address and it ends there. There's no debating today. And the parties are saying, let's debate the State of the City address today and right now. Then she's coming with a middle ground. That is the definition of a compromise. A compromise is not a favor, it's a position in between. That was a position in between that says, seeing that, let us then, what if we allow the mayor to continue do the State of the City address, then adjourn as we were meant to adjourn immediately after that, and then start the ordinary council meeting, and then put the item on the agenda of that meeting, which is today in this same venue, and is open to everyone that is seated here, and then allow the debate of the State of the City address to take place today in this venue in the afternoon meeting. That is a compromise for me, because it then takes on board what the parties were saying, which we were not prepared for, but it also takes us on board, the parties that were not prepared for the debate, because then we can use the break in between to allocate speakers and to prepare our debate, our responses and debate notes to the mayor's address. That is a compromise. But secondly, the second motion was raised by Councillor Billy of the DA, wherein he said they'd want this to happen, but if it is not possible for it to happen today, the Speaker must commit that within 7 days of the council, of this council, then another meeting can be called, because May is too far, to use his words. Now, that's a second motion, which I think, to an extent, Councillor Mwango also went towards it. So we have three motions here. In fact, we have what was meant to be, which was that the mayor is going to table the State of the City address, and that's it. We have what the Whip of Council proposed, which is that we take the debate in the afternoon meeting. We have the third one, which says within 7 days. And as the ANC, we are amenable to the two, parties permitting. That is our submission, Speaker.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor Madlala. Councillor, zangiqale ngale yokutolika. Uma sihlelela lo mhlangano we State of the City address, bese ngahlelile ukuthi kuzoba khona inkulumo mpikiswano or i-debate. Sangayi provide a facility for this meeting. He provided for 2 o'clock. Ngoba besazi ukuthi uzokhuluma umeya sihlukane sibuye singene kwi-council meeting. I have to apologize for that, ukuthi ngabikho i-translation facility kule meeting yokuqala. But okwesibili, councillors, i-meeting yo-whip ne-speakers committee, we don't impose decision as vote foot, but we convince one another. There's always consensus. It's a form of agreeing or taking a resolution. Resolutions are not only taken through a vote in a meeting. You can have a consensus. While there are people with a different opinion or views, but to agree that that's what will happen. Now, in our meeting, that what happened, there was a decision or a consensus that was taken by political parties. But on the submission that you have made, I said earlier, I hear your submission and I understand the committee will consider all the submissions made. But for the sake of progress, let's agree, councillors, that the State of the City address will be debated at a council meeting at 2 today. That will allow political parties during the break to have caucuses, look at the State of the City address, prepare speakers who will debate. While political parties are having caucuses, I will convene an agent meeting of the Speaker and Whips Committee so that we agree on how to manage that part. Before 2 o'clock, we will meet and agree on how to manage that part. Then at 2 o'clock, the Speaker will address Council on how debate will be managed. That is a decision I therefore rule. Speaker, Mayor, come forward.
Somlo.
Mayor, Cousin Kuala.
Ngale nhlonipho lenkulu Somlomo. Siyacela ukuthi iANC iconsider lento ukuthi ayiseyona outright majority. Sine delay isikhathi ngenxa ukuthi nine tendency yokuthi ni outright majority of which akusekhona. Ajustan ziyakhala manje.
Speaker,
Mvobo,
whip item.
Cousin Mvobo.
Ukhuluma ngiphi
Mayor,
item?
can you please-
Siyeka ke wena.
Cousin Mvobo.
Siyabonga Speaker. I-ruling yakho hayi asizwe fair. Sicela
Order, order.
Order, Speaker. Order, Speaker. Speaker.
Cousin Mvobo.
Speaker.
Mvobo is on the floor. Let's allow Mvobo to speak. Councillors.
What the fuck?
They
can't.
I don't know now what is an issue because I have allowed you to say to debate the presentation today too. That's what you have been advocating. Now I want us to move so that we have sufficient time to debate in the second session. Everyone will be here at 2 o'clock while we are facing this out. Cousin Mvobo, let's move with speed.
No Speaker, bengithi i-ruling yakho yokuthi debates ayenzeke manje ngoba khona ade bevele befisa ukuthi kwenzeke manje beprepareile akukho fair kwamanye amaqembu asiphiki ukuthi inkulumo kaMayor afuneka i-debate ngoba vele usuke engakhuluma into engachallengewa ziningi izinto azoyiraise ngoba sikakasibona nokusibona i-state of the CC address so sikubona ku-unfair ngoba i-council enormally izoqala ngo-2 i-state of the CC address izokwenzeka manje sizobe sesithathe big isikhathi sokuthi sikwazi ukuthi inkulumo yakhe siyi-engage siyi-debate kahle unless-ke sifuna ukuzikhulumela nje bengivumelana no-councillor uMncwango namanye ama-councillors athi ake sikhulume indaba ukuthi uma ngabe kuthiwa ayidebatwa namhlanje and kuthiwa i-next council meeting elandelayo ikude asivumelane sithole isikhathi iningi la singakwazi ukuthi
Point of order.
I will take your hand. I said earlier.
Point of order.
No, I will take your order. I said soon after the address by the mayor, we are going to break. In that break, I am going to allocate time to political parties to have caucuses. By that time, I will convene the meeting of the whips to discuss how we are going to manage the process that will happen in the afternoon. That's what was my summary and my ruling. I think, Councillor, that is fair in all the submission that has been made here. I've listened carefully to all what you have made. I think my summary and my ruling is fair and I stand with that decision. Councillor Mchaito, then Mayor, you'll come forward.
I'm covered by you. Your ruling is final. Councillor Mvobo must live with that.
Thank you. But Mayor, His Worship, come forward.
kahle mthetho hawu uyiphoxa phambi kwengane zesikole
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Baba Somlomo, sibonge kakhulu ithuba esilitholayo. Siphinde futhi sibingelele sikhuleke kumakhosi asendlunkulu. Akhona namhlanje kulomcimbi wethu omkhulu kangaka. The Speaker of KwaZulu-Natal Legislature, Honorable Ntembeko Boyce, and all members of Parliament and MPLs present, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Deputy Mayor of our municipality, Councillor Zandile Myeni, our whip of the council, Councillor Shange, the leadership of the African National Congress and all other political parties present, former mayors and office bearers and former office bearers of eThekwini municipality, chairpersons of committees in the executive committee, ESCO members of our council, honorable councillors, city manager and senior management of our municipality, business chambers and captains of industry, chairpersons and CEOs of government entities and our own entities, ICC and Ushaka Marine. Distinguished guests, members of the media, umphakathi okuyiwona osiholelayo njalo ngenyanga ukuthi senze umsebenzi wethu ofike ngobuningi bawo namhlanje siyawubingelela. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Good morning, Sanbonan. It is a great honor and privilege to deliver this State of the City address on the eve of the historic day in our calendar. The 27th of April 1994 ushered in our democratic breakthrough in South Africa, ending decades of colonial minority apartheid rule, which had excluded millions of people from participating in their affairs of their country of birth. This heralded a new era of building a better life for all. Sihlangene kahle namhlanje ngoba kusasa sizobe sibungaza sigubha usuku lwenkululeko yezwe lakithi esaziyo sonke ukuthi saba nombuso entandweningi owakwazi ukuthi kube yiwona ophatha iningizimu Afrika u1994, kakhulukazi waqeda ke umbuso wabacindezeli, umbuso owasicindezela ngobandlululo olwenza ukuthi abantu abaningi balelizwe begcine bengayona ingxenye ukuthi bethathe inqumo ngempilo yabo nokuthi nenhlalakahle yabo kulelizwe lakithi. This month is also significant as we commemorate our brave and fearless leaders, such as former SACP General Secretary Comrade Chris Hani, who was also a commander of Umkhonto weSizwe and MK combatant, Comrade Solomon Kalush Mahlangu, who sacrificed their lives for liberation struggle. Like the great Thomas Sankara once said, and I quote, "While revolutionaries as individuals can be murdered, you cannot kill their ideas," I close quote. In this regard, Honorable Speaker, I want to make it clear that radical socio-economic transformation will not be postponed. It is for this reason that today we'll be tabling bold and decisive plans to address the economic fault lines that Comrade Hani and Comrade Mahlangu fearlessly opposed. Sizizwa sinentokozo enkulu ukuthi ngegazi lalamaqhawe abawabulala ababethi ke bathathe yonke imicabango yabo nembono yabo okhe kwalelizwe nokuvuselelwa kwalelizwe, kodwa ke esikubekayo phambili ukuthi ukuguqulwa kwesimo sozomnotho kakhulukazi inguquko ezinqala angeke isakwazi ukuhlehliswa ngoba kufanele zenzeke manje ngoba isimo esikhona somnotho siyakhombisa ukuthi abantu bakithi bashiyeke ebubheni. It is therefore befitting that in the year of decisive action to advance the people's interest, we invite you all councillors, management, staff, business sector, NGOs and citizens to join hands to rebuild our city. To achieve this noble goal, we need to have leaders who are selfless, humble, courageous, visionary, and ethical. We are happy, Honorable Speaker, that in our midst we have leaders who embody these qualities of leadership. Honorable Speaker, we can proudly say that there is stability and unity of purpose in our municipality, despite the different political persuasions that we have, and also taking note of those councillors within the municipality who always raise and portray a negative impact and image about our municipality. They appear on television, on radio, on newspapers on daily basis, saying that the city is collapsing while the city is rebuilding itself. This has been confirmed by the recent assessment by COGTA, which indicated that the municipality is functional and financially viable. In addition, Auditor General gave the municipality an unqualified audit report for 5 years in succession. Sithike thina likhona uzinzo kulo masipala, kodwa siyazazi izinkinga ezikhona, kodwa izinkinga zenzi ukuthi kuthiwa umasipala awusakwazi ukusebenza. Uyasebenza ukwedlula abanye umasipala abaningi. Lolo zinzo lokubhekela nanokuthi uyabona lo masipala wona umasipala ofana nabanye ekulalwa namhlanje ngingazi ukuthi ubani ozovuka ezimeya ngakusasa. While we celebrate these achievements, we are mindful of the challenges that the AG highlighted, which include irregular expenditure in our municipality, Honorable Speaker. We are currently implementing the audit turnaround strategy to address the matters that have been raised by AG with a view of achieving a clean audit, and we are going to achieve that clean audit. It is also important to mention that as a city, we continue to honor our financial obligations with regards to bulk purchases from Eskom and Umgeni Water. Lo masipala ngendlela ostable ngayo kwezezimali awukweleti Eskom, lo masipala awukweleti Umgeni Water, uyaqhubeka nokuhlinzeka abantu bakithi ngezidingo. Despite the current economic climate, we have been able to maintain an AA+ investment grade credit rating with 60 days cash on hand. Sasingabheka ke la kuhlala kuthiwa kubuswa kahle khona ukuthi bame kanjani mase kuza kulokhu somlomo ngoba kuhlala kushiyo kuthiwa kubuswa kahle kodwa simi kahle kakhulu njengomasipala waseThekwini. Honorable Speaker, as we gather here today, we take stock of the uncertainty of the global economic outlook amid financial sector turmoil, high inflation, ongoing effects of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, 3 years of COVID-19, 2021 civil unrest, and the 2022 devastating floods. Closer to home, the rising cost of living, which has been identified by the World Economic Forum, continue to exacerbate poverty, unemployment, and inequalities. Siyakubheka lokhu masibheka umnotho umhlaba wonke ukuthi ke iyasiphazamisa impi eyenzakalayo eRussia naseUkraine ngoba lokhu kuthinta umnotho wethu nathi njengezwe. Kodwa sifuna ukuphawula somlomo ukuthi sidlule egigabeni ezinkulu esithemba ukuthi bambalo masipala ababhekana nalengqinamba esibhekane nayo yango 2022 yezikhukhula engakaze ibonakale eminyakeni engaphezulu ka100. Kanti makuza lapha ekhaya kubalekile somlomo sikubeke ukuthi ukunyuka kakhulu kwesimo sokuphila ngenxa yamandla omnotho kwenza ke ukuthi abantu bakithi beqhubeke bezibone behlezi ebubheni bengaqashiwe beyiningi bengaqashiwe futhi nokungalingani kubhebhezeleke phambili. Addressing the ANC local government election manifesto launch in 1995, former state president and struggle icon Dr. Nelson Mandela had this to say, I quote, "The councillors you elect in the local government elections will become the main agents of change in your communities. When you choose your candidates, they should be people you can rely on. They must be people who understand your problems, care about your future, and know how to listen," I close quote. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, we are agreeing with Madiba's wise words that as elected public representatives, we must always be ethical, honest, and accessible, but more importantly, capable to collectively rise to the global and domestic socio-economic challenges that confront our society today. Sikusho ke lokhu ngoba kubalekile somlomo ukuthi abantu bakithi bazi ukuthi lamazwi kaMadiba afuna ukuthi ubuholi bube qotho, ubuholi obuzokwazi ukuthi buveze emphakathini mangakwazi ukuthi izinto zenzeke ukuthi kusavinjwe yini, kuphinde futhi kube ubuholi obutholakalayo ngoba sinayo inkinga somlomo yamakhansela angatholakali, kodwa hayi imajority amakhansela la eThekwini abantu bayawazi ayatholakala emawadini awo lawa ke anga African National Congress nesebenzisana nabo. Local government continues to be at the coalface of service delivery. As we mark 29 years of democracy tomorrow, we pride ourselves on having succeeded in transforming the lives of millions of our people by delivering quality basic services like water and electricity. In his address commemorating the 111th anniversary of the African National Congress, President Matamela Ramaphosa urged all government structures to drastically change the way services are rendered. Having pronounced 2023 as the year of decisive action, the leadership of eThekwini has committed itself to double the efforts to change the lives of our people for the better. As a result, the head of the administration, our city manager, has been given a clear mandate to ensure that there is consequence management for officials who are abdicating their responsibilities in the municipality. Sitheke ku city manager okuyena holy administration baningi abasebenzi kufanele kubhekwane nabo labo abangawenza umsebenzi ngendlela ngoba bakhona abasebenzi kufanele siziqhaje ngabo sijabule ngemisebenzi emihle abayenzayo njengalaba nje abaklini idolobha lethu sesiyalibona liqalile liyahlanzeka manje. To this end, we have urgently embarked on a process to review the performance of all service delivery units within our municipality. For example, in one of the key service delivery units, Durban Cleansing and Solid Waste Management, CSW, we have appointed a new acting head who has brought a renewed focus in that department. This came after concerns about the poor state of waste management in our municipality. The renewed focus at CSW is a clear demonstration that we fully understand the responsibility of living up to our constitutional mandate to promote a safe and healthy environment through the provision of quality basic services. Similarly, we have introduced reforms in our supply chain management processes to accelerate service delivery. We have done this to ensure that this key enabler to service delivery unlocks progress instead of hindering it. Siyafisa ukuyigcizelela lesomlomo ukuthi masikhuluma ngokukhishwa kwamathenda ngaphakathi emkhandluni wethu sifisa kube nenguquko ezinqala zokuthi sikwazi abantu ukuyidlulisela idingo ukubona ngendlela ekulindeleke ngayo nangesikhathi beyithola idingo zabo ngesikhathi. Ingakho ke siqinisekisa ukuthi sifuna ukuthi SCM wethu ushintshwe ukwazi ukuthi ubhekane nezingqinamba ezikhona kodwa futhi ukwazi ukusinikeza inqubekela phambili kungabi yiwo ovimba intuthuko yabantu bakithi. Lokhu ke kufaka phakathi njengoba sazi ukuthi kunezikhala eziningi somlomo esikhulume ngo-SSS ukuthi abaningi bethu abasemalokishini kakhulukazi naseyindaweni ezisemakhaya bakhala ngokuthi SSS awukho accessible. Ngakho ke sithatha isinqumo sokuthi noma i-applywa as a system ngoba kufanele sicomply njengabo bonke omasipala kodwa sizobe silisebenzisa nolunye uhlelo ebesilisebenzisa lokuthi labo bangakwazi ukungena ku-SSS bekwazi ukubengene through ama-emails abazinikezwe wona ukuthi bekwazi ukufaka izicelo zabo ukuthi nabo beparticipate ngoba phela section 217 of the constitution uthi kufanele kube ne-fairness and the just distribution of our wealth. In this regard, we must swiftly address the question of grants that are being withdrawn by the national government. We want to place it on record that as the city, we have been spending the Urban Settlement Development Grant, the USDG, in full for the past 5 years. Honorable Councillors, the period since the dawn of our democracy has been characterized by radical efforts to transform our society. Chief among them was the dismantling of the Group Areas Act, which gave effect to the apartheid spatial development planning that was to the detriment of the majority of our residents and Africans in particular. Sifusa ke ukubeka ukuthi kakhulukazi inguquko lezi zinqala zomnotho kufanele zikwazi ukuguqula lolu hlelo lo-Group Areas Act olwenza ukuthi abantu bakithi lwaze lwaqedwa ngoba lwalubandlulula abantu bakithi lobabeke endaweni ezingenayo umnotho indlela intuthuko yethu yayiplanwe ngayo ingakho thina sithola singale kude ematsheni mase kuba khona abasendaweni enomnotho ingakho ke kwakuthiwa kuyofaneleke abantu behlupheke kuze kufike leso sikhathi sokuthi bezibona ababalekile kunabanye abantu. Honorable Speaker, we are talking about the period where the majority of our residents were deliberately excluded from accessing basic services. Abantu bakithi babengahlinzekelwe ngezidingo. This was a clear violation of human rights by the Nationalist Party regime, as confirmed by the United Nations, which declared that apartheid was a crime against humanity. This history is well documented in various sites in the city, such as Gwamuhle Museum, Old Durban Station, Old Apartheid Prison, where the iconic Inkosi Albert Luthuli, where we are today, International Convention Center, is located. Sashintsha isakhiwo sobandlululo. Lapho abaholi bethu babegwetshelwa khona beboshwe khona kuyijele leli ababegcinwa kulo. Salishintsha njengamanje sekufika bonke abantu bamazomhlaba bezoxoxa ngokwakhiwa kweNingizimu Afrika ethuthukayo nenakekelayo kubo bonke abantu baseNingizimu Afrika. Ladies and gentlemen, eThekwini has an illustrious history in the struggle for freedom. Apart from being home to the struggle icons such as Dr. John Langalibalele Dube, Dr. Paisley Isaka Seme, Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. Fatima Miye, and many more, the country's largest labor federation movement, COSATU, was also founded right here in Durban at Carisfontein. To further illustrate, Honorable Speaker, eThekwini's central role in the government of this country, 3 years ago, His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa launched the government's new service delivery approach in KwaMashu. The district development model seeks to streamline service delivery by bringing together all spheres of government, including social partners, to work together. Through the DDM, we are confident that we'll continue to push back the frontiers of poverty, unemployment, and inequalities. Therefore, we are pleased to report that eThekwini is better than it was before 1994, as reflected by the following achievements, Honorable Speaker. Household with access to at least a basic level of water is 83.56%. Household with access to at least a basic level of sanitation is 74.4%. Over 90% of households with access to a basic level of electricity. Over 1.1 million households with access to a basic level of solid waste removal. An estimated indigent households with access to free basic services, water, sanitation, electricity, and waste removal is 81.29%. It is important to note that apart from being 60% rural, informal settlement and township municipality, rapid urbanization puts a significant strain on our resources and the provision of quality services becomes an ever-moving target to our municipality. For instance, in the past 5 years, the population of eThekwini municipality has increased by over 25%. This is reflected by the increase in the number of informal settlements to approximately 600, making the need to build a resilient city even more urgent. Abantu bakithi abazisukeli somlomo ukuthi bezogcwala kuleli dolobha ingenxa yesimo sobupha, ingenxa yesimo sokuswelakala kwamathuba omsebenzi, ingenxa ukuthi abantu bakithi abalitholi nosizo olunye abalidingayo kwezomnotho namathuba ezomnotho. Ingakho idolobha lethu kuyilo kuphela imetro yalapha KwaZulu Natal, bonke abantu kuma district alapha KwaZulu Natal, kanjalo nama province esakhelene nawo namanye amazwe afana no Lesotho, namanye amazwe afana no Swaziland no Mozambique, abantu bathuthekela ngobuningi kuleli dolobha bezobheka amathuba omnotho. Honorable Councillors, we present the State of the City address under the theme, through our unit of purpose, we can build a solid foundation for a resilient and economically inclusive city, I close quote. As the city, we have identified the following key 5 priorities. Ilezi zinto ezinhlanu esibona ukuthi angeke njengomasipala sifuna ukwenza yonke into ngesikhathi esisodwa, kodwa sibone kukuhle ukuthi sibeke izinto ezinhlanu eziphambili ezidingweni zomphakathi wakithi. Eyokuqala yalezo zinto is building adequate infrastructure to improve service delivery. Ukwakhiwa nokunakekelwa kwenqalasizinda yethu ukwenza ukuthi siphuthumise izidingo kubantu ngendlela ekulindeleke ngayo. Siyazi sekhona ingqinamba abantu bakithi ababhekene nazo, sizozilungisa lezo ingqinamba ngokubambisana. Esibili, job creation, ukudalwa kwamathuba omsebenzi. Ngoba abantu bakithi basezinkingeni ikakhulukazi ulusha luseyinkingeni olunye lingena kuyidakamizwa nje noma litholakale lenza izinto ezingalungile ngenxa yokuthi abasebenzi bahlezi emakhaya. Okwesithathu, skills development. Ngoba amakhono abalekile kakhulukazi lawa azokhanda umnotho waseThekwini uqhubeke phambili. Fighting crime to create safe living spaces. Sibone ukuthi ukulwisana nobugebengu sibona bukhula budlondlobala kubalekile sikubeke oqhulwini lenhlelo zethu ukwenza ukuthi abantu mabehamba bezizwe bephephile futhi nasemakhaya labehlezi khona bephephe. Okugcina somlomo, a resilient social solidarity economy. Umnotho kakhulukazi ozozulana nalabo akade bekhishwe ngaphandle komnotho bengakwazi ukuthola ithuba lokubamba iqhaza emnothweni wezwe labo ngoba ukubalekile ukuthi senze inguquko ezinqala ukushintsha impilo zabantu bakithi zibe ngcono. In this regard, we stand before you to bring hope and renew the people's contract by presenting bold and tangible interventions that will ensure no one is left behind. Honorable Speaker, we are saying this is a decisive year wherein we want to give effect to Section 217 of the Constitution in driving our procurement reforms. Furthermore, we want to give effect to Chapter 8 of the Municipal Systems Act, Section 76, subsection B, Roman figure 4, which reads as follows, and I quote, "A municipality may provide a municipal service in its areas or a part of its area through inter alia, a community-based organization, or other non-governmental organizations legally competent to enter into such an agreement," and I close quote. Therefore, we are saying the tendering system is not the only way the municipality can render services. Yingakho-ke kulolu hlelo sizokhuluma kule nkulumo sizokhuluma kakhulu ngokuthi senza kanjani ukuthi singarely kakhulu ohlelweni lamathenda lokukhishwa kwamathenda emphakathini kodwa siwuthathe isigaba somthetho lesi sisibalulile esizokwazi ukuthi abantu bakithi ngokwemphakathi labehlanganise khona bekwazi ukubamba iqhaza bezenzele imisebenzi leyo msebenzi bebambisene esivumelwaneni nomasipala ngoba kuvumelekile lokhu ngaba ama non-governmental organizations kodwa nje inqobo uma ngabe ehlelekile akhiwe ngendlela esemthethweni ama-social enterprises kanye nezinye inhlaka ezahlukahlukene. Okusho ukuthi-ke somlomo sithi-ke thina njengomkhandlu waseThekwini akusesiyona yonke into esizoyenza ngamathenda, siyashintsha manje mase simemezela ibudget sobe sisho izimali ezofakwa kulolu hlaka lokuthi imiphakathi ngokwayo izenzele imisebenzi yona. This statutory provision enjoins the municipality to use, among others, its buying power to empower local communities by giving them opportunities to render services to the city through their social enterprises and cooperatives. We are convinced that services such as fixing potholes, veg clearance, road markings, refuse collection, and sourcing of material to build local infrastructure will be done by communities. Sithi-ke lezi zinto ezilandelayo hayi ukuthi izona kuphela nezinye sisazoyibheka kodwa sibalula lezi ezibalulekile ukuvala nje imigodi esemgwaqweni ama-potholes, ukuklerisha ukhula olukhona emgwaqweni, ukumaka imigwaqo ukuthi abantu kwaziwe isignage ukuthi ihamba kuphi, ukuqoqwa kukadoti ukuze indawo zethu ihlale ihlanzekile, ukukhiqizwa kwezinto zokusebenza ezokuthi uma kuzokwakhiwa izindlu ama-blocks evele emphakathini, uma kwakhiwa imigwaqo ama-caps avele emphakathini. Ilezo zinto kanye kanye esizosithatha sizinikezele imiphakathi izenzele yona ngokwayo. More details will be presented when we deliver the budget statement next month. The legislation allows us to conduct a targeted procurement spend to enterprises owned by women, youth, military veterans, and people with disabilities. Therefore, in creating an enabling environment for the social enterprise business model, the Municipality Supply Chain Management Unit is in the process of reviewing its policy in order to incorporate the objectives of the social solidarity economy in their procurement process. The current SCM process for community participation goals and subcontracting will be strictly monitored on a quarterly basis as part of normal supplier performance reviews to ensure that all undertakings made by the bidders when they are awarded contract are enforced. Khona-ke abanikezwa amathuba omsebenzi somlomo kuthiwa abaqoqa udoti abanye inkampani nabanye benza umsebenzi ohlukahlukene abangawenzisisi kahle umsebenzi wabo. Yingakho ke sizofuna ukuthi nalapho esikhiphe khona amathenda njengoba imisebenzi sizoyisa emphakathini la esikhiphe khona amathenda there must be value for money. Okusho ukuthi umuntu onikeza umsebenzi akawenze ngesikhathi silindelekile awenze kube umsebenzi wekhethelo kungabe ukuchitha nokumosha imali zomphakathi wakithi. Furthermore, in support of the social solidarity economic programs, Parks, Recreation and Culture will undertake a comprehensive review of the current cooperatives-led initiatives in order to expand and strengthen our cooperatives in ward-based social enterprises. Ngeke ndize emoyeni lama social enterprises azoba semawadini abuya nyuka abe ngokwama-zonal levels njengoba sazi ukuthi sine-zonal service delivery model eThekwini. Currently, the city has 262 ward-based cooperatives, as I've alluded, so those will be assisted for the provision of veg maintenance services throughout the city in all 111 wards, and we want to double this number by this July this year to ensure that we increase the number of community participation. For roads and stormwater, will from now onwards use labor-intensive approach model in doing its business. Nalapha ekwakhona kwemigwaqo nakhona kuzoba khona inguquko. For cleansing and solid waste, the city will establish a recycling program where 500 social enterprises beneficiaries will be recruited to collect waste in informal areas where our footprint and some rural areas where we are not found executing our responsibilities as expected. The municipality will also introduce a waste reclaimers program in Tuzuma as pilot project. This initiative will support 107 new beneficiaries that will be coordinated in the form of social enterprises. In this regard, all units and entities within the municipality have prioritized services that will be procured from these enterprises in the next financial year, which begins now in July in 2023. We equally urge the private sector to follow the suit. Siyazi-ke ukuthi abantu baye bethi hawu kushuthi ithembiso lezi akuzona ithembiso ibophezelo siyaqala manje ngoJuly kulo nyaka. As part of the industrialization strategy for the city, we want to build capacity to manufacture some of the goods and services we regularly source from abroad as eThekwini municipality, instead of buying parts of our water and electricity infrastructure and for our city fleet from outside the city and in other countries. We have mandated all units to engage manufacturers to come and establish manufacturing plants here in the city so that we can retain jobs and contribute meaningfully to the GDP. Kuningi-ke amakhebuli, amapayipi amanzi, izinto ezahlukahlukene ezidingwa umnyango kagesi nemnyango wezamanzi. Siyithenga emazweni angaphandle okuningi kakhulu kwakho. Sesithi-ke uma singakabi nakho ngaphakathi, ngoba uma bekhona ngaphakathi asikwazi ukujomba siye ngaphandle. Kodwa uma singakabi nabo, asilande bona laba bakulawo mazwe sithenga kubo bezo-establisha imboni la, ngoba amathuba omsebenzi fanele enzeke la eThekwini engahambi ngomkhumbi eye ngaphandle kwamanye amazwe. As the city, we have identified this as one of the priority projects for the next financial year. Other priority projects for skills development and job creation include collaborating with state-owned enterprises such as Transnet, Sanral, and Prasa to ensure there is local beneficiation from their major projects implemented in our municipality. For example, Sanral will be investing over 40 billion rand in the next 3 years for N2 and N3 upgrades. Njengoba sibona lapha ekuthiwa iSpaghetti Junction khona bazokwenza umsebenzi omkhulu ukuthi unwetsho leyamgwaqo njengoba kuba netraffic enkulu kanje, kodwa futhi ngale kokuthi unwetsho ube mkhulu bephinde bewubeautify ube muhle ube istandard samazwe omhlaba akhombisa ukuthi ayazi ukuthi enzani. Operationalization of the Enterprise Supply Development Fund, the ESD, to leverage on private sector funding for skills development and financing of SMMEs. Sithike somlomo ngoba nathi sizoyifaka imali njengomasipala kulesi sikhwama, kodwa sicela nalabo abayimele amabhizinisi ayimele lokho kubizwa nge-Enterprise and Supplier Development Fund bezoyiphonsa kulesi sikhwama. Yingakho sizo-appointa i-fund manager of this fund so that sizokwazi ukubambisana ne-private sector ukuthi kufakwe imali, lezo imali ezohamba ziyokwenza lo mehluko olandelayo Somlomo ey'ndaweni zethu emalokishini nasey'ndaweni esemakhaya lapho ububha ludla lubi khona. Abantu abazizamelayo bekhanda ama-blocks, abantu abazizamelayo bethunga, abantu abazizamelayo benza umsebenzi ohlukahlukene kwezolimo ngoba befuna ukuthi beyiphilise, abantu abasha abasemkhakhweni we-IT kanye nokunye okuhlukahlukene. Sithi-ke labo bantu abasha nomphakathi wakithi lezi imali sizokwazi ukuthi sizithathe siyobanceda ngazo. Bengathi abantu mabefika emahhovisini ethi ayikho imali. Akufuneki abantu mabekhala ngokuthi sinawo umbono, sinawo ama-ideas, kodwa mabefika sithi ayikho imali. Ile mali-ke ezoba khona nayo ngokukhulu ukushesha sizomemezela ngayo uma ngabe sisimemezela i-budget. We are strengthening collaboration with institutions of higher learning, including IT-related institutions, to drive the digital skills of the future. A smart city through Internet of Things, big data, robotics, and drones. To achieve this, we have put together a job creation skills revolution and catalytic projects war room to decisively deal with unemployment and economic opportunities to our communities. We'll also continue to roll out Wi-Fi hotspots sites throughout the city. Currently, the city has 457 Wi-Fi sites. Sinendawo abantu labakwazi ukuthola khona ukuthi bekwazi ukuxhumana ngokwe-data, bekwazi ukuthi bexhumane nezihlobo zabo, nendawo ezu-1313 ezingama-hotspots lapho esisifake khona lezi ndawo. In the next 3 years, we'll establish additional 200 sites and 500 hotspots in our municipality. Sifuna ngabe khona la lomphakathi olapha eThekwini Somlomo othi akwazi ukuxhumana ngoba ezokuxhumana azikho. We are also accelerating the program of establishing human centers of excellence to bring information technology services closer to the people. Currently, the city has 24 operational sites equipped with computers and free Wi-Fi that can be used to apply for jobs via the e-recruitment portal, apply for bursaries, admission to tertiary institutions, and business opportunities. Lezi ikhungo ezizakhile Somlomo siyafisa ukubika emphakathini ziwusizo olukhulu, zishintshe indlela abantu bakithi ngoba mawufuna uku-apply umsebenzi befanele uze la edolobheni uzofuna ama-forms e-Shell House mase ubuyele ekhaya uwagcwalise, enye imali leyo, uphinde ubuye futhi uzowahambisa, enye imali leyo. Kanti nemali leyo bekuyimali yokugcina ekhishwe emaphaketheni abazali bethu abangasebenzi bezama impilo nabahola ama-grant. Yingakho-ke sishintshe ukuthi emalokishini nasey'ndaweni ezisemakhaya sizakhe lezi ikhungo nabafuna ama-bursaries abangabe sahamba beye emahhovisini inkampani ey'thize nama-institutions athize abamane bengene beshaya amabhathini bethola ama-bursaries, kanjalo naba-aplayela imisebenzi nama-bursaries bepress ibhathini be-upload i-information yabo iphume iye lapho ekufanele iye khona. Ulo hulumeni-ke oholwa ukhongolose owenza lo msebenzi. Kodwa-ke Somlomo kuyasithusa futhi kuyasimangaza ukuthi sesenze lo msebenzi omuhle ngake endaweni zabantu bakithi mase kuba khona labo abangamasela abangayithandi inqubekela phambili sebefika sebezontshontsha lama-computer esikhuluma ngawo. Lokho kusibuyisele emumva njengomkhandlu, sifisa ukuthi umphakathi sukume sibambisane ukulisana nalesi sihlava. In the current financial year, we plan to establish 4 sites in Sankonje, Mfume, Skukuku in Odidini, and Nasengonyameni. Kukhona ke indawo abayishile lapha ebese ibalile nayo ekuthiwa indawo yaseNanda isale njengephuthi khona kulama areas ekufanele dlulele kuona. Siyofaka lezi ikhungo zokuxhumana abantu bakithi bekwazi ukuxhumana. Nakwezinye indawo sokuqhubeka sidlulise ukuya phambili lezi ikhungo. Through eThekwini Municipal Academy, EMA, we will work with TVET colleges and the private sector to establish work readiness centers to reduce the number of unemployed graduates. Esikubonile Somlomo ukuthi abafundi baya kuma TVET colleges bevele emphakathini Kodwa mase beqedile ukufunda babuyela benjengoba benjalo emphakathini sebeswela amathuba omsebenzi beyokwandisa isibalo sabantu abaswela amathuba omsebenzi kanti kufanele ngabe kunoshintsho mase benama skills ngakho asifakele izinhlelo esibiza ngama work readiness programs ukubanikezela ulwazi bekwazi ukuyimela ngokwabo. We commend Fundamentum Group for leading the way in the Shongweni development by establishing a training center focusing on artisan skills. We are introducing a new IT skills development program where we want to train 1 million young people on IT skills over 3 years through Isbani Solusha program. The investment in the youth today will bring about dividends. Sitege akuyona ukuthi siyagagamela. Kodwa sifuna ngoba baningi abantu abasha basemakhaya nama-graduates asemakhaya sizorecruita-ke abayisigidi kulabo abakhona bahlezi emakhaya sibaqeqeshe sibanikezele ulwazi olubalulekile ukuthi bekwazi ukuziphilisa kakhulukazi kuma-IT skills namanye ama-skills adingakalayo ukuthi abantu bebambe iqhaza emnothweni. We also want to place graduates in the municipality and engage other sister organizations to provide opportunities to the youth to ensure they complete their qualifications and gain work experience. We want to eradicate this backlog in the next 3 years as well. We'll continue to offer bursaries and support to the financially needy students to register and the total amount set aside for this purpose to support students to further their tertiary education is 12 million rand in this financial year esizoyiqeda. With this funding, we are supporting students with full bursaries to study in the public institutions of higher learning. Oya esikhungweni semfundo esiyimela sikwazi ukumnceda sisiza laba abaye ezikhungweni zikahulumeni ukuze bekwazi ukuthi bengene ezikhungweni zemfundo ephakeme. We also provide education aid for registration and donate full school uniform to needy learners. Siyafisa ukusho lokhu ukuthi sibanikeza ama full bursaries somlomo. Sibanikeza ama bursaries ane allowance ama-bursaries azobenza bekwazi ukufunda bekwazi nokuthenga izinto abazidingayo njengomkhandlu waseThekwini. This program is making a real difference to many students from our municipality, students such as Pesihle Mzobe, who is a second-year student in medicine at the University of Cape Town, and Siabonga Magwaza, a law student who chose this career path to make difference in his community. Baningi kakhulu bese ngeke sibabale bonke besithiya sibalela abambalwa esikwasibasizayo abaseyikhungweni nje basikhuluma nabanye asebaqeda ema-university abanye sebeyasebenza. To honor and reward learners who have excelled in their matric, the municipality hosts the annual matric awards in recognition of their hard work so that we recognize what they've achieved. Building a resilient city, Honorable Speaker. In the last 5 years, the city has faced a number of catastrophic events from the 2017 and 2019 torrential rains to COVID-19, the 2021 civil unrest, and the 2022 April-May once-in-a-century flood. All these devastating disasters resulted in the destruction of our infrastructure, loss of life and livelihoods. Zonke lezi zigameko esizibalayo zishiya umonakalo omningi. Bazokhumbula abanye nalesa sigameko sangoJuly lapho okwenziwa khona ukutapa nakho kwadicelela umnotho phansi kwafa amabhizinisi abantu badilizwe emsebenzini. Zonke ke lezo zimo izimo lezo ezigcina ezithinta impilo nenhlalonhle yabantu nomnotho wezwe lakithi nalapha eThekwini. We are happy that as a result of our interventions, we are beginning to see our economy bouncing back and returning to pre-COVID-19 growth levels. This can be attributed to the economic recovery plan, which we continue to use as a blueprint to respond to disasters. Businesses that were forced by the hard lockdown during COVID-19 to halt operations have reopened and retained many jobs. In addition, during this period, we were able to attract foreign direct investment of close to 4 billion rands as a city. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may recall, while we were dealing with the COVID-19 recovery, the city faced unprecedented civil unrest, which claimed many lives and destroyed infrastructure as well as businesses. We are happy to report today that working together with businesses and the chambers and the leadership of businesses, we were able to expedite the approval of their rebuilding plans, and we provided relief to those who were unable to operate by using Section 78 of Municipal Property Act and Section 14 of the Rates Policy. Through these interventions, we have seen many businesses that were destroyed opening their doors to customers. Early this month, we were pleased to reopen the Bridge City Mall in the north of Durban. The reopening of this mall has rejuvenated the economic activity in the Phoenix, Inanda, Ntuzuma, and Guamash nodes. It has also brought back renewed hope to 1,500 people who lost their jobs. Ezinye indawo evuliwe ziyaqhubeka nokusevisa umphakathi wakithi Dube Village Mall emva kwalezi gameko kwaMamdikazi Business Precinct, Mega City eMlazi, businesses in Springfield, KwaMacro and Value Center, major retail businesses in the inner city and secondary CBD such as Pantown and Isipingo. Siwabona wonke la mabhizinisi seyibuyisile imisebenzi yabantu bakithi sebebuyelile emsebenzini beyosebenza emva kwalezi gameko. Ngizokweqa-ke okuningi lapha somlomo ngidlulele phambili uqinisekisa ukuthi ngiyasibamba isikhathi. Honorable Speaker, as we mark the first anniversary of the devastating floods, we remember those who lost their lives and continue to pass our condolences to the families of the deceased. We also wish to express our sympathy with families of those who have not been found as we speak. We continue to put them in our prayers and also work with national and provincial government to accelerate the processes of ensuring that at least those families, they are able to find closure. Sithi-ke sizwelana na yonke leyo mndeni alahlekelwa zihlobo nalabo bangakatholakali siyababeka emkhulekweni yethu kodwa futhi siyasebenzisana nohulumeni kazwelonke nowesifundazwe ukuqinisekisa ukuthi leyo mndeni iyakuthola ukuthi isekelwe. Honorable Speaker, we are happy to announce that 1.5 billion flood relief grant has been deposited into our account, which is an addition to 185 million that came 6 months after the floods. Among the things it is going to address is roads, imigwaqo ezolungiswa ngale mali, ama-bridge alimele, ama-storm water systems ethu ukuthi amanzi akwazi ukudlula kahle kuma-drains ethu, human settlement lapho sizofaka khona ama-retaining walls, kanjalo nenqalasizinda yamanzi neyokhanjiswa kwendle. This funding comes at a time when the city had reprioritized its budget allocations, which amounted to 600 million rands to urgently restore services like water and sanitation, electricity and roads. We want to assure our residents of eThekwini that every cent of this money will go towards addressing outstanding infrastructure issues ayizukuya emaphaketheni abantu. Furthermore, we'll make sure that it is adherence to the protocols that government supply chain management processes, because we remain committed to running a clean and transparent government. In the aftermath of the floods, our teams have worked tirelessly to repair damaged infrastructure and relocate flood victims to family-friendly accommodation. We want to thank our Honorable Minister of Human Settlement, Kubai, and MEC Mahlaba for their sterling leadership during this difficult period. Ningabashayeli hlombe abaholi bethu. Masiza ngokuhlaliswa kwabantu somlomo. Today we can proudly say that over 8,000 families who were displaced by floods and moved to 120 mass care centers are now in safe family-friendly accommodation. Sashilo ukuthi before kushaya uKhisimusi ngonyaka odlule mhla ka-25 December iyobe seyisuswa yonke le endaweni esingasho ukuthi zinhle kakhulu kodwa ezingconywana ukuhlaliswa komndeni kunokuhlala ehholo ubaba nomama nabantwana neminye imindeni kuminyene ngaphakathi. Sikwenze there are 15 parcels of lands that have been identified for the purposes of rebuilding permanent structures for these families. Siyazi-ke kukhona nalabo ababekade bengahlalanga emahholo kodwa abaqualifyayo ukusizwa uhulumeni. Laba abangahlalanga emahholo babekwa izihlobo zabo bahlale ezihlobeni nakomakhelwane ababhalisa abayingxenye yabantu abagunyazekile ukusizwa nguhulumeni bazosizakala nabo uma sekwakhiwa lezindlu. The municipality has supplied building material to 576 families affected by the floods. We continue to work with the provincial government to build permanent houses for people who are accommodated in these temporary structures. As we proceed, Honorable Somlomo, we are pleased to announce that residents of Ispingo Transit Camp who recently experienced the fire incident and also the fire incident will soon be relocated to their new and beautiful houses. No, I'm sorry, I'm confusing this. Let me correct it. Honorable Speaker, we are pleased to announce that the residents of Isipingo Transit Camp, laba bahlezi kabi lapha kwi-transit camp yethu esesiphingo beminyene futhi behlezi eduze kwe-canal yamanzi enomngozi obukhulu bazokwazi ukugudluzwa ngokukhulu kusheshsha nje sizohamba siyovula izindlu zabo seziyaqedwa ezinhle izindlu nendawo abakhelwe yona ebuyisa isithunzi somuntu kakhulukazi umuntu omnyama kwakuthiwa uyocindezelwa aze ayofa ngakho ke lemndeni izothola umehluko empilweni zabo. In line with the principles of the Freedom Charter that there shall be houses, security and comfort, the city prides itself for providing subsidized housing units to the poor. Honorable Speaker, we are pleased to announce that it is also gives me pleasure to report to the people of eThekwini that in the last 5 years, the municipality has delivered the following housing opportunities. Ngizocela sonke mase khona kuzothi mase kudebate sizwe kahle le ndaba. Siwalalele kahle lama numbers ngoba yakhuluma. Acquired more than 21,230 hectares of land for housing development in this municipality. Provided internal infrastructure engineering services to more than 7,000 sites from various projects. Ukuhlinzeka ngenqalasizinda kuma project amaningi okuhlaliswa kwabantu eThekwini kanjalo nokuqinisekisa ukuthi ukhona umhlaba ukuthi kwakhelwa abantu izindlu. Provided over 22,891 incremental services sites to the various informal settlements within the city. Lapha ke lahlinzekela kwakhona abantu bakithi abahlala kuma informal settlements ukuthi noma bengakakhelwa izindlu kodwa babe nezidingo ezifana nemigwaqo izidingo ezifana namanzi nogesi kanye nezinye ezokwenza impilo yabo iqhubeke iye phambili. Built 15,026 houses for qualifying beneficiaries under various housing programs as provided in the Housing Code 2009. Sezakhiwe ke zonke ke lezi zindlu kuleminyaka emihlanu esizibalile. Rebuilt over 800 houses that were affected by the storm disaster. Bonke laba bedilikelwe izindlu zabo ngenxa yezikhukhula abanye kuyo yonke lesisikhathi esikhuluma ngaso la sikwazile ukwakhe izindlu ezu800 ukubavuselela izindlu zabo. Transferred ownership of flats to more than 13,961 occupants. Sadlulisela ubunikazi bama flat lawa kade kuwama flat kama asebakhelwe izindlu zabo asekhona amanye futhi asazokhishwa amatayitela kulabo bangakawathula. Supplied over 3,000 households with the building materials who were victims of fires and storm disasters. Njalo ke makwenzeka igameko enjengalesi saseDakota nalapha eWard 34 nakwezinye indawo sike siphuthume njengomasipala abantu sibalekelele ukuvuselela impilo yabo futhi uma ngabe sesivuselela izindlu zabo sabakhe bavuselela izindlu basabaneza material bakhe izindlu zabo asibe sabakhokhisa uma ngabe izindlu zabo bezishe esigamekweni ukufaka ugesi sibafakela ugesi mahala. Built over 560 temporary residential units to accommodate flood victims. Nakhona lezi ezisikhashane bezakhiwe izindlu ukuthi abantu bakithi bekwazi ukuthi bevikeleke eindaweni ezahlukahlukene. Attracted over 10 private business people, NGOs and other institutions working with government for providing their social responsibility to stormwater disaster victims. 20 parcels of land identified and planning is underway to ensure that storm disaster victims are permanently housed. In the current financial year, Honorable Speaker, the municipality will deliver 19,800 housing opportunities, not houses, opportunities in different ways. Construction of new community residential units. Njengoba sazi ukuthi endaweni esemahostela ukwakhiwa kweindawo zokuhlala ezihlalisa imindeni, upgrading kwalezi ezikhona of community residential units, rectification of pre and post 1994 houses. Leza zindlu ezazakhiwe ngalesa sikhathi sisobandlululo siyazivuselela nazo ukuthi zibe sesimweni sokuthi zibukeke. Sikhuluma nje amalokishi amaningi neendaweni eningi ezisemakhaya lapha edolobheni laseThekwini ziyakhiwa njengoba sikhuluma kumanje. Eradication of transit facilities, ukuthi ke abantu bakithi qedwe lento abantu bakithi abahleli kabuhlungu eindaweni ekuthiwa bagcine kuzona kwesikhashana, nakuba sazi lo umsebenzi omkhulu, kodwa sizofaka wonke amandla ethu uqinisekisa abantu bakithi bayagudluzwa. Sikhuluma ke ngama project amakhulu azokwenzeka, iConubia Integrated Human Settlement ezoba nezindlu eziwu-25,000 ne-Greater Amouti Housing Project ezoba nezindlu eziwu-20,000. Ama-project lawo azokwenzeka eThekwini. Water and sanitation. Ladies and gentlemen, will recall that when April storm disaster hit the city, our water supply networks was severely damaged. Water supply was below 40% in all regions of the city. Today, we are pleased to report that great progress has been made in restoring water supply in these areas. Njoba zibhaliwe ukuthi sinyusa ama percentage afika kuphi endaweni njengakwa Botazil, kwaNyuswa, Luganda, Nagina and Donwood and many other areas from 30% to 95%. In the outer west region, the water supply has improved from 45% to 85%. That affects those areas. The central region, which includes Chatsworth, Clearwater, and other areas, we moved from 45% to 90%. The southern region has improved from 15% to 75%, which include the areas of the south, Gomakhuta, Gomlazi, nakwezinye indawo. Kodwa ke zonke lezi indawo siyakusho ukuthi supply in the northern region has improved from 40% to 80% following the commissioning of Otongati water treatment works. However, the current water challenges in Tuzuma, Inanda, KwaMashu, and surrounding areas have affected water supply in the region. The city has also completed 11 flood-related water projects in areas such as Hillcrest, Dazenhoek, Reservoir Hills, Amanzimtoti, Y-Bank, and Chatsworth at a cost of 64 million rands. Ladies and gentlemen, we are aware of water challenges in areas such as Umlazi, Folweni, Ngonyameni, Makhuta, Adams, Ntsimbini, and Chatsworth. Together with Umgeni Water, we are finalizing plans to upgrade the Southern Aqueduct, which, when completed, will provide these areas with a reliable supply. The project will cost over 900 million rands. Masithula ke budget sizokwazi ukuthi simemezele ukuthi yaqala usuqalile kodwa design yale project uyaqala lo msebenzi. Abantu basemlazi base South kwaMakhuthe efolweni abanawo amanzi ngoba ipipe elikhulu okuyilona bebahlinzeka ngamanzi lavalwa bekumele ngabe bahlinzeka amapipe amabili amakhulu kusebenza elilodwa kuphela. Leli ke lizothatha imali engango 900 million ekuyilona elizokwenza kubuyele isimo sokuthola kwamanzi ngendlela ejwayelekile kulezi indawo. We are also aware of water challenges in Tuzuma, KwaMashu, Inanda, and Lindeland, which have been compounded by the damage of the pump station which caught fire recently. Sifuna ukusho ukuthi ngesikhathi sibhala le report bekukhona bekwenziwa. Namhlanje inkampani iqalile ukuyolungisa lapha eNtuzuma ukuze abantu bakwaMashu baseNanda, abantu baseNtuzuma, baseLindelani bekwazi ukubuyelwa amanzi njengoba kade bebhekene nesimo esinzima kangaka sekuphele amaviki amathathu. Lo umsebenzi uqalile inkampani appointiwe nemali zikhishiwe 15 million ukuthi kuyolungisa leso simo ukuthi amanzi abuyele esimeni. Umonakalo wabamkhulu kakhulu ikona lokho kwenze ukuthi lezi indawo zithinteke ngalendlela ezithinteke ngawo. Ngalawo mazwi siyaxolisa kumphakathi walezi indawo ezinenkinga zamanzi. Umphakathi wase Ward 1 siyayazi inkinga yakhona yamanzi obhekene nawo umphathi waximba nezinye indawo osondelene nazo nakhona ngokunjalo siyangenelela kungekudala nje futhi sizomemezela mase sikhipha imali manje ngoMeyi ukuthi yini ezokwenziwa ukuthi kufakwe ibooster ezokwenza ukuthi amanzi aphampeke ngokusheshsha njengoba indawo ethinyukela noma yehlikela futhi kwesinye isikhathi ekwazi ukufinyelela kubantu bakithi ngendlela efanele. Honorable councillors, our sewer infrastructure suffered extensive floods damage during the floods. This resulted in the pollution of most of our rivers and beaches. The fact that today, out of 23 beaches, 19 are open and safe for bathing speaks volumes about the strides we have made to repair our sanitation infrastructure. Ababehleka ke bethi ngeke kwenzeke lokhu kuyenzeka manje futhi khona inkampani ezappointiwe ezogijima ngelikhulu ijubane ukuhamba lamalokishi indawo esemakhaya kwaqoshwa khona amapayipi lo msebenzi uyaqhubeka uyaqala ukuvala indle ingangeni emzini yabantu. This can be attributed to the repairs we have completed in our pump stations, which are now enabling us to channel sewer where it's supposed to go. Honorable Speaker, there are areas which we have made intervention, which are mentioned there, which I'm not going to get into details. Contractors are currently hard at work to repair our two major wastewater treatment works in Umbilo and Northern Wastewater Treatment Works in Sea Cow Lake. While work continues, these plants are operating at 50% capacity. The flood relief grant is also going to help us fast-track the ongoing repairs that will see these facilities operating at a full capacity soon. We are facing a serious challenge with sewage manholes that are clogging. Sadly, this is a result of the conduct of our residents who have a habit of disposing foreign objects into sewage system. Let us work together to ensure that we don't dispose things which are not supposed to be disposed to our stormwater systems. The municipality has commenced with the process of procuring additional 50 jetting machines for the new financial year. This is going to enable our teams to respond timeously to sewer blockage that are reported. We have also embarked on an educational campaign to educate our communities. Interventions to resolve water supply challenges. We acknowledge that even prior to the flood disasters, our infrastructure, due to the fact that it is aging, has been giving us some challenges. A number of areas in eThekwini had water challenges, including Umlazi and Gonyameni and the other areas that you have mentioned. To address the backlog in the south, the city has commenced with the project which is currently at design stage that I've already reported about. On the new water tankers, sikhathele manje somlomo ukuthi silokho siyoqasha imoto zabayimele ukudlulisa amanzi ebantwini bakithi makuneyinkinga. Sesithatha isinqumo sokuthi siphinde siede ezinye ezo55 ezofika nje ngaphambi kokuthi kuphelele financial year uJune ezokwazi ukuhambisela abantu bakithi amanzi. Ezikamasipala hayi eqashiwe. Ezikamasipala ukwenza singalokho sijahwa abantu abafuna amathenda ngeimoto zamanzi. Kodwa sikwazi ukuthi umasipala sidlulisela abantu bakithi amanzi. Amanzi angaphendulwa sengathi kuyinto yebhizinisi. Umkhomazi Dam. The construction of Umkhomazi Dam will resolve the deficit in available raw water to meet the full water demand of the city. This project will be implemented by the National Department of Water and Sanitation together with us and Umgeni Water. Council has supported this project and will soon be undertaking public participation in order that water use agreement can be signed with the Department of Water and Sanitation. Increasing deployment of plumbers in hotspot areas. We have identified a need to do so because we have acknowledged that the water leaks are also giving us more challenges in the city. Hence, these teams will be deployed and we are preparing to ensure that we massify this program. Honorable Speaker, the city will be installing communal water meters to quantify non-revenue water in rural informal settlement and townships. Khona lamanzi ethiwa ayamosheka 56%. Mabe wachaza abanye basuke becalta amanzi wonke ayaphansi. Akuwona amanzi achitheka phansi lawo 56% eThekwini. Amanzi amaningi lawo ehlinzeka ngawo abantu bakithi abangakwazi ukukhokhela ama services eindaweni ezisemakhaya kuma informal settlement nakwamanye amalokishi. Ngakho ke sesithatha isinqumo sokuthi lawo manzi sizokwazi ukuwakala mangakanani ukwenza ukuthi auditor general mayibheka amabhuku abone ukuthi lawo manzi abe mangakanani siwadlulisa mahala kubantu bakithi. We currently piloting the use of satellite imagery to detect water leaks in our municipality. Sesebenzisa ne-technology ke ukuthi sikwazi ukubona amanzi avuza ngakuphi. Siqalile siyalipilota lelo project. Alternative sanitation technologies, flushing toilets. Enye into somlomo ezoshintsha impilo zabantu bakithi zibe ngcono ukuthi sibulale lento ebizwa ngokuthi ama-pit latrines. Abantu bakithi besebenzisa ama-toilet emgodi aletha ubungozi ingane iphonseka phakathi siphunyukelane nemphefumulo. Ngakho ke silethela uluhlelo olusha ekuthiwa alternative sanitation technologies. Lolo hlelo ke ilona oluzoqala njengamanje ekuseni kwi-executive besi-approve ezinye imali zokwengeza esicela ukuthi ne-council isupporte ukuthi liqale lolu hlelo liswe ey'ndaweni abantu bakithi impilo yabo ishintshe ibe ngcono. Uhulumeni wentando yeningi le abakwazi ukusebenzisa ama-toilet emgodi. Infrastructure upgrades to resolve water supply challenges. This year, the municipality is forging ahead with several water and sanitation infrastructure projects to resolve water supply challenges in the city. The following are some of the projects we are implementing. We did not count all of them, we're just mentioning the few. Okunjini Water Works supplies water to Osindisweni and surrounding areas. Sifisa ukubonga inkosi yamaqadi nomphakathi waleya ndawo ukuthi sibambisane kahle nawo ukuzama ukuxazulula inkinga ababhekene nazo zamanzi. Ingakho ke siqhubeka sifaka lama project ukuthi siyonyusa izinga lamanzi kulezo indawo, inani lamanzi abazokwazi ukuwathola ukwenza ukuthi impilo zabo ishintshe zibe ngcono. Mkhizwane Water Works supplying areas such as Mzinyathi, Mapepetweni, New Swine and Ngolosi have also been experiencing water supply. A project is also underway here to upgrade the current treatment works from design capacity of 2 megaliters per day to 4 megaliters per day. Honorable Speaker, construction of Adams reservoirs 5 and 6 will increase supply of water in areas such as Adams and Wamakuta at a cost of 20 million rand. Zwelibomvu water pipe phase 2 upgrade to improve water supply in the area and we have spent 27 million to deal with that upgrade. The city has been grappling with the issue of high non-revenue water, so these are the interventions which will be intervening with to change that situation. The city has commenced with the project, which is currently at design stage, to ensure that the issue of the Southern Aqueduct is indeed addressed. Honorable Councillors, for us to accelerate infrastructure to deliver in rural areas, we are engaging Amakosi on a proposal and communities or on a proposal of only 100 rand flat rate for rural communities who can afford it. Ngicela ukuyicacisa leso mlomo. Abantu bengasho ukuthi mina nginayo nje. Sithi ke labantu bakithi asebakhe imizi emihle eindaweni zamakhosi, siyakubonga kakhulu lokho futhi kuyalenza idolobha lethu libukeke kahle nemphakathi yakithi. Kodwa sithi siyocela nje kuphela u100 rand wokuthi njalo ngenyanga sikwazi ukuthi silungise idingo, sibafakele kahle idingo, behlale endaweni enedingo ezinakekeleke ngendlela efanele. Ngakho ke lokhu sikise emakhosini nasemphakathini sibhizi kumanje siyaxoxa nayo imphakathi ukucela ukuthi usilekelele ngaleyo ndawo. Labo abangasebenzi ngeke bephoqeleke ukukhokha lo 100 rand ngoba abasebenzi. This will ensure that quality basic services such as water, electricity and roads continue to be rendered seamlessly. Electricity, Honorable Speaker, soon after the floods, we were able to fully restore electricity supply in all our areas. However, we continue to struggle with load shedding, theft, and vandalism of our electricity infrastructure. As we look to the future, we plead with communities to be our eyes and ears so that we can identify the criminals that wreak havoc on our infrastructure. You will recall that over 100 power stations were severely affected by the floods, but we are pleased to report today that all our power stations are now in good working condition. Honorable Speaker, we commend our teams for moving with speed to restore basic services such as water and electricity supply after devastating floods. Because of extensive damages to roads, it was difficult for them to access some of our substations and water treatment works. However, with all the odds stacked against them, they managed to find a way to return the situation to normals. This is as demonstrated by the work we did in Durban South Basin, where we were able to repair and restore 3 power stations that were submerged in water. Lama power stations ayizolahlekisa abantu abangaphezu kwa-40,000 ngamathuba omsebenzi abasebenza koMondi, koToyota nakwezinye inkampani koSapref. Uma ngaba sisheshanga salungisa ngokushesha, siyabonga ukuthi leyo mphakathi ibuyeliwe imisebenzi yawo eminingi. Power supply in Maran Ridge and surrounding areas and Outer West was also safely restored following the damage to the power substation. Honorable Speaker, to address electricity infrastructure challenges, the municipality is currently implementing 106 capital projects. These projects, which mainly include refurbishment, replacement, and building new infrastructure, will cover the following: high mast lighting in Kwamashu and other areas, lighting of new major routes, lighting of parks, replacement of transformers in the areas where they experience outages, and electrification of new settlements in our municipality. We reiterate our call to members of the committee to work with us to deal with the scourge of theft of our cables, power cables. Sesizifaka manje uconcrete. Masifaka ama-cable phansi sifaka uconcrete ngaphezulu ngoba sibalekela amasela azontshontsha impahla yomphakathi. Lokho kusifaka endlekweni engenasidingo efana ngaba singeni kuzona kubethu abantu abawebi amakhebuli igebengu haya abantu igebengu azwebi amakhebuli endaweni mase kuthinta umphakathi wakithi ugcina ungasakwazi kuba nogesi kube khona inkinga zokuthola ugesi. Si allocate imali engaphezulu kwa 2 billion kule financial year esizoyiqala for our electricity infrastructure. Towards a secure energy future, Honorable Speaker, in March, we hosted a successful eThekwini Energy Transformation Summit, the first of its kind in KZN. The summit brought together industry experts, investors, government leaders, and academics, as we are trying to find permanent solutions to ensure the city has a secured supply of electricity. Work is at the advanced stage to procure 400 megawatts from independent power producers. This 10 billion investment project will create over 8,000 jobs opportunities in the short term. Other key plans tabled included that the short-term strategic vision is to reduce over-reliance to ESCOM as a city to generate the necessary source. Durban Port, Richards Bay, and Keto Ridge Dry Port have been identified as hydrogen hubs for the city and region. According to research conducted by the city, the regional hydrogen strategy could unlock 421 billion rands on private investment in the long term and up to 260,000 construction jobs during the construction and 11,000 jobs permanent jobs when this project is completed by 2030. Recently, the city experienced dry and hot temperatures, which we attended to, and our committees, the services were reinstated. Road, storm, water, and bridges. Ladies and gentlemen, the damage resulted in over 60% of our communities not being accessible by vehicular transport. This extensive damage to our road infrastructure was estimated at 5.6 billion rands. Through the budget reprioritization process and the allocation of the first tranche of flood relief funds, the city has been able to implement the following projects. The Bellamount Road in Mdloti, we have put a brand new drainage system and backfilled the area. We have also made great progress in constructing 2 bridges in Ward 100 in Gonyamen. We have built a pedestrian bridge in Ward 53. We have undertaken 600 projects, which include ukulungiswa kwemigwaqo, rehabilitation and regraveling of access roads that fall under our jurisdiction as the municipality. Siyilungisile ke lemsebenzi kodwa semningi engalungile efana siqedele kulo 1.2 billion. Honorable Speaker, as we all know that road infrastructure is critical in economic growth and job creation, the city continues to invest in building world-class road networks. The infrastructure plays a key role in linking communities to social amenities such as schools, clinics, and access to economic activities. Most of the development we are currently witnessing in rural and township communities is directly linked to the construction of the state-of-the-art access road that we have upgraded from gravel to tar. Imphakathi ehlala endaweni ezisemakhaya nesemalokishini eThekwini iyayibona imigwaqo emisha yakhiwa kodwa lokho akusho ukuthi seyiqediwe ikhona imphakathi engakakhiwa kuyona imigwaqo sizoqhubeka nalo msebenzi. Honorable Speaker, we are pleased to report that of 1.5 billion flood relief grant, 1.2 will be directed for this purpose. Some of the bridges that have been repaired include the following: 12-meter pedestrian steel bridge in Claremont in Ward 92, pedestrian access steel bridge near Josiah Mapoloba Road in Umlazi East section, installation of steel pedestrian bridge near Amanganga, a repair on pedestrian bridge approaches in Mount Moriah, repair on Claremont and Tottenham pedestrian bridge at Ohlange Township in Ward 57, repair to Gapion retaining structure in Bola in Ward 15. We'd like to express our gratitude to national government for releasing the flood relief grant, which has allowed us to commence with the repairs of the following bridges: The ones that will be attended and many others. Amongst them is Tottenham Pedestrian Bridge in Verulam, Ward 51 and 102. Chelimnyama Low Bridge replacement. Umphakathi waseChelimnyama kade wawukhala ngokuthi lapha eChelimnyama magnethi imvula ibridge lakhona amanzi ahamba phezulu kwebridge impilo zawo izoshintsha eChelimnyama. Shall Cross Blandel Road and bridge construction in Ward 63. Mhlutuzana River, replacement of damaged crossing in Ward 61 and 62 Otongat with a bridge, as well as construction of pedestrian bridges in Etafleni, Amawoti, Ohlange, reconstruction of Umbilo Canal, service and pedestrian bridge. This bridge is essential to the provision of those basic services to address the challenge of flood along the N2 and prospecting business in the south of Durban. eThekwini Municipality, working with Sanral and Department of Transport, will be reconstructing relief culvert and canal on the N2. The municipality is also repairing an existing diversion berm in R103 road. The contractor is currently on site and we are anticipating completing this work by July this year. In the past 5 years, Honorable Speaker, the municipality has been able to upgrade 68 kilometers of roads from gravel to tar and rehabilitated 1,106 kilometers of roads. Shuthi imigwaqo eThekwini ilebalwayo esishintshiwe yasuka ku-gravel yasebamnyama yabamihle njengomeya wenu. To improve pedestrian safety, the municipality has constructed over 176 kilometers of sidewalks. The city has also invested over 120 million to rehabilitate M4 South, Inkosi Albert Luthuli Highway. Kade abantu babekhala ukuthi u-M4 obheke ngasemlazi lokubonakala kulungiswa u-M4 obheke ngase-north, kanti yolungane nobheke ngapha koMakhutha nakomlazi nakobluff. Cha, kuqaliwe kuyalungiswa. Ingakho ebusuku nibona ogandaganda besebenza nje nemishini ukulungisa leso simo sifaka 120 million rands. Waste management. Honorable Speaker, our turnaround strategy to clean the city is beginning to yield positive results. Part of the strategy is to increase supervision by ensuring that workers report to their workstations on time and do their work as expected. We are extremely happy about the visibility of these roving teams day and night that we are observing. We are also deploying resources in this regard, Honorable Speaker, as part of our efforts to clean our city. To reach all communities, the city invested 117 million rands on new fleet, including specialized waste collection trucks, allowing the city to provide a coordinated response to waste. Lisazoba clean idolobha lenu, lisazobuya kube yileli enilaziyo impela. Sicela ukubambisana nomphakathi, kungabi idolobha lethu njengomasipala elomphakathi, asihlanze elethu sonke. Economy. Honorable Speaker, our economy is linked to the international economic trends because we are a port city. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has warned that major economies comprising a third of the global economy are expected to contract significantly this year. Unfortunately, this includes markets we export to, lamaze swebelana now, countries we trade with who bring foreign direct investment to the city, and the international tourist. The global economy seems to be sluggish this year, having declined, according to the IMF, from 6% in 2021 to 3.2% in 2022, to an expected 2.9% in 2023. This is due to price hikes, rising inflation, a decline in real wages, oil sanctions against Russia, and increased interest rates as monetary policy makers across the globe try to cap inflation. This also includes the risk of climate change, induced extreme weather events, as well as nature disaster events such as catastrophic earthquake and other things like floods in Turkey and Syria. While eThekwini's growth has also been revised down, 4 sectors will keep the city afloat. I would like to urge you, councillors and members of the public, to listen carefully, because the question that asks us, how are you going to create jobs in eThekwini? We are now answering it. Initial focus by Economic Advisor Services, IHS Market Limited, have placed Durban's GDP growth rate at 1.3% in 2023, increasing from 0.9% in 2022 based on 3 quarters and pending the final quarters. Nevertheless, 80% of growth is expected to come from finance, trade, manufacturing, and transport sectors, contributing between 12.7% and 37.6% of the 1.3% increase in growth consecutively. Therefore, we anticipate more jobs to be created in these sectors. For us as a city, we view plans by Transnet to expand the port of eThekwini as a vote of confidence in eThekwini. The 130.7 billion investment will contribute an average of 1.8% per year to the city's GDP over 17 years starting this year. Honorable Councillors, work on the film studio component of the Durban Film City will start this year. Umsebenzi ozoqala ukuthi lapha kwakuyindawo yamasosha kwakuthiwa iseNatal Command lapha yangase casino. Lo msebenzi uyaqala kulonyaka. Lo msebenzi uzobeke ubalula emalini noma ku-investment ewu-7.5 billion, which is a mixed-use development comprising kuzokwakhiwa istudio samafilimu laphaya, film studio, film school, ukutrainwa kwabantu ukungena emafilimini, isquare nakhona bayazazi-ke izinto zakhona ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi kuperformwe kwenziwe zonke izinto, neyimakethe-ke ezovulwa kule mboni, yihotela nakhona, mese kuba nalento ihlale siyibona emamovini ekuthiwa i-Disney Walk, izokwenzeka la eThekwini, ngeke senzeka phesheya. Also this year, the Bayhead and Langeberg road upgrade and automotive terminal expansion are expected to begin with an estimated investment value of 647 million. Discussions are underway with various stakeholders to finalize the construction of a second access road to the port to deal with the issues of congestion. This is critical for clear this challenge, as we all know. Honorable Speaker, as a municipality, we are targeting. I want also to request that the committee listen carefully. We are targeting to halve unemployment rate in the next 5 years. It is estimated that if we succeed to attract 30 billion rand investment, we'll be able to create 67,500 more jobs per year from following sectors. We are now mentioning ukuthi yipi leyo sector izokhipha imisebenzi emingaki ngoba sifuna ukugeneralize. Manufacturing and recycling, we are expecting 9,055 jobs. Agriculture, 8,072 jobs. Trade, 5,009 jobs. Building and construction industry, 4,110 jobs. Accommodation industry, 2,794 jobs. Business services, 2,254 jobs. Beverages and tobacco products, 2,174 jobs. Publishing and printing, 2,136 jobs. So we are not just generalizing that we may create jobs. These are the plans that we are putting forward to generate these necessary opportunities. Through forums such as eThekwini Economic Council and the Mayoral Jobs, Skills and Revolution War Room, we have already established work streams where tangible action plans have been developed to realize these job opportunities. Sesiwahlaziyile ukuthi mangaki azokwenza kanjani mapha ama sectors per each entity, and the municipality and the private sector will work on that to ensure that we create these necessary jobs. Honorable Speaker, as part of our strategy to stimulate economic growth in rural and township communities, the municipality has identified a site in Mgababa to develop idolobha lapha endaweni yaseMnini. Kwakhiwe idolobha ngoba abantu bangapha eSouth kakhulukazi ngasigcineni abanalo idolobha. Fanele bebe nedolobha lapha eMnini. Lizobe lihlangabezana ke nedolobha elilapha ezizovusela idolobha laseMbumbulu esizolivuselela kube idolobha la ngempela ngagcina kuba i-magistrate area bese kuba idolobha. The city is currently facilitating these developments. Mchebeni, 250 million, the super spa that has been completed, developed in that area. Currently construction work of 97 million development of Inkwani Junction Shopping Center, and the petrol filling station is underway. We are also pleased to report that the construction of Nozaza Mall development in Tuzuma will start in August this year at an estimated cost of 300 million rands. This project will create 500 jobs during the construction phase and 250 permanent jobs after the completion. On catalytic projects, Honorable Councillors, catalytic projects play a central role in attracting foreign direct investments, economic growth and job creation, and our own investors locally. Some of the major projects that have been undertaken in the city have not only resulted in changing the face of the city, but have also provided much needed employment to the people of eThekwini. In the last 5 years, the city is collaborating with private investors that have implemented the following projects. The Point Water Mains project with a capital investment of 280 million rand. This project has improved public realm and water supply in the inner city and Mahatma Gandhi precinct. The promenade remains one of the main attractions for both locals and tourists. It has become a popular spot for families to enjoy walks along the beach. At the cost of 400 million rands, this development has transformed our coastline offerings. The Midway Crossing development has been completed with the city capitalizing this investment with 375 million. Laphaya ke somlomo Midway Crossing sifake sashintsha leyamole safaka idingo zikahulumeni kune library kuno sizakala center kunendawo abantu abasha bafike besizakale kona besikhuluma ngayo idingo zomphathi iqoqelwe ndawonye abantu bayithola la eduzane kwabo. Oceans Umhlanga development, which include Radisson Blue Hotel and the Oceans Mall. Through this 4.5 billion development, the city is able to collect 34.4 million in rates revenue annually. A platinum walk with international brands has been officially opened. Laboge abazinqephu abagqoka lezi ke zangaphandle thina singakwazi ukuthi sizigqoke kahle bona ke sebekwazile manje basizukuyithatha imali yabo somlomo beyoyispenda eSandton beyithathe beyoyispenda eCape Town so bagcina la baqala la ngosuku lokuqala mhla ka25 kuvulwa ngomhla ka25 kuMarch iGoose yenza imali engango 1.5 million rand before 12 o'clock emini but leyo mali yenziwe eSandton ngosuku. So ingakho ke sithi iletha injection ye growth lapha edolobheni lakithi. Shongweni development located at Henry and Kasia Road interchange has an investment value of over 28 billion with phase 1 comprising the urban core valued at 3.5 billion rands. The city will be able to collect 17 million rand in rates revenue annually. Once completed, we envisage that an estimated 35,000 job opportunities will be created once all phases are complete. The Avoca nodal development consists of 3 precincts ideally located along the N2 corridor at the cost of 10 billion rand. The precinct consists of the brickworks and Northfield industrial developments. This will also generate investments for the city. This will contribute 40 million rates collection to the city on an annual basis. Rivertown Public Realm project is an example of how we can turn around the CBD, the repurposing of the area between the ICC and the beachfront, which has been completed. The Keto-Rich freight and logistic development is expected to create more than 10,000 jobs and generate an annual revenue of 300 million for the city. The investment value of this critical development is 18 billion rands. The development of 153 hectares of the Keystone Logistic Park on the Henry Hammersdale interchange in Mpumalanga will ease the burden on our roads leading to the harbour. The value of this project is 22.5 billion and will result in the creation of 97,700 jobs in our municipality as it is completed. Interventions for SMMEs and informal economy. Honorable Speaker, as part of promoting the ease of doing business, particularly for the SMMEs, the municipality recently established the SMME Help Desk at Cedar Office Park in Warwick Avenue. To further increase support to small businesses, the city has added free bookkeeping services to the list of various support services offered by eThekwini municipality. Sikhathele lento ukuthi osomabhizinisi bethu abancane mabefika bethi bacela nokulekelelwa ngokugcinwa kwamabhuku nokuthi bethole izeluleko kutholakala kufanele manje ukuthi beyaqasha abantu bengenazi imali zokwenza lokho umasipala ke uzobanikeza lawo ma services mahala. We are confident that this new initiative will assist SMMEs to ensure compliance, growth, and sustainability. On top of this, we'll also be establishing the Enterprise and Supply Development Academy, which will also be putting more support to our SMMEs and the cooperatives and social enterprises. Since its inception in 2021, the office has been able to pay approximately 2,000 invoices, and this totals to around 4.5 million rands paid to SMMEs within 14 days. Ngoba nayo le khokhelwa kwabasomabhizinisi abancane late ma-officials fanele siyazi ukuthi ibulala amabhizinisi kufanele bekhokhelwe ngesikhathi. Uma ngabe ama-invoice ephelele yonke into iqinisekisiwe kumele sibakhokhele within 14 days after besubmitted. The municipality's short-term goal is to roll out the service to all business support regional offices to ensure services are brought closer to where our business committees reside. Support for locally owned spaza shops. Honorable Councillors, spaza shops used to be a backbone of the rural and township economy. To revive and provide necessary support to assist spaza shops owners, the city has adopted a bulk buying program in partnership with KwaZulu-Natal Department of Economic Development, led by the MEC Mtombeni. The program is currently being piloted at 80 spaza shops in various townships. As part of this program, the spaza shops, even in rural areas, owners were allocated cashless ATM machines with an intention to attracting more customers to their stores, as the cashless ATM allows customers to pay for DSTV, buy airtime, and to do SASSA transactions in these machines, and also placed orders from various wholesalers. The total value of bulk buying program is 10 million rand, and we intend increasing the number of spaza shops owners to benefiting from this program to a total of 180 this year. When we say this year, 2023. Agribusiness interventions, Honorable Speaker, agriculture continues to be one of the main drivers of the economy. In this regard, the city is moving with speed to support emerging entrepreneurs who want to venture into agriculture, into agribusiness activities. In the next 10 years, the city is focusing on key commodities, which include vegetables, sheep, poultry, piggery, and cannabis. To date, the city has already invested over 55 million into infrastructure support projects, unlocking 1,300 new jobs opportunities with a total of 49 SMMEs benefiting from agribusiness program. Most of the city's supported agribusiness projects are located in township and rural areas, and this include AgriPark Business Incubator located in Keto Ridge, in Hammersdale, Cottonlands AgriPark Incubator in Verulam for eggs and crop production. To date, 5 million has invested in the project with 7 jobs created. Esikujabulelayo kwengalabo esibasupporta ngale mali bathi amaqanda aba basawadayisi la eSouth Africa kuphela, asephuma nangemkhumbi wadayisela amazwe angaphandle baya-exporta besupportwa umkhandlu. Ottawa AgriPark Incubator, which has created 12 jobs. Egcagini project in Claremont, which uses vertical planting system. The project produces 4,230 plants per cycle. Mechanization support program, which includes procurement of tractors to support local farming sectors. So tengo ganda basha bokulekelela abalimi eThekwini ukuthi masiqeda noku-approve ibudget ngoMay, ngoJuly siyabathenga labo gandaganda soba-add abawu-6 abazolekelela ama-regions aseThekwini ukulima. Sifuna sibe umphakathi olimayo ngoba ukudla okuphuma emhlabathini kunempilo. Agri-industrial value add nurseries in Mbumbulu, Mzinyathi, KwaXimba and Chesterville. On incubation program for SMMEs, we have Umkumbane Entrepreneurial Incubator located in Keto Manor, which provides NQF Level 2 incubator to young and upcoming furniture makers. Sathi sesibona kwi-fair yethu, kwi-business fair, sabona osomabhizinisi abaphuma kule program kamasipala abakha amakhabethe amahle asekhishini, abakha ama-lounge suites amasha amahle, abenza into nje enhle ekhombisa ukuthi bethiwa sithenga kubona nathi. Sike siyiyeke lento yokuthi singathengi kubantu abaseduzane nathi, abantu balapha eThekwini. Ake sithenge kubantu, buy local, then the business will boom. Cooperatives Development Incubator located in Guamashu East Section aimed at improving co-ops mainly. Inc. Contractor Development Incubator located in Guamashu as well, which develops emerging contractors. On township economies, and these projects are going to be implemented. Honorable Speaker, newly built business hub in Guamashu, a hostel was done and Ward 39 valued at 13 million to accommodate 32 small businesses. Siyangena lapha kansela ugwala naphakathi endlini yabafowethu nabodadewethu sakhe khona indawo zokuhweba lapha yakwamazambane. Following business hive valued at 6 million to accommodate 28 small local businesses. Tara Road SMME hub site renovation valued at 2.8 million to accommodate small businesses incorporating 120 flea market vendors in the city. Konopia Retail Facility Phase 1 and valued at 12 million rand to accommodate 33 local small businesses. Blue Lagoon Traders Facility in Beachfront valued at 12 million to accommodate 36 informal traders. Construction of St. Windolins Container Park in Clearwater is now completed, valued at 1.8 million. Upgrade of Bester Container Park is also completed, value is 3 million rand. It accommodates 18 informal traders. Electrification of Anderson Kiosk in Pantown is complete, valued at 2.4 million in accommodating 40 informal traders. Kwamnyandu and Ezimbuzini automotive hubs and trading stalls have been completed. Sayishintsha somlomo liyanda wasembuzini ehlale sengathi indawo engahlali kuyona abantu kuhlala kungcolile. Sayishintsha osomabhizinisi abahlelela kahle indlela yokusebenza bakhandela imoto lapha abanye benze kuhlukahlukene safaka izitolo kwamnyandu lapha estation abakwazi ukuhwebela kuzona imisebenzi ehlukahlukene ezomnotho. Ilo masipala waseThekwini. Fashion Development Program. The Fashion Fair is one of the flagship projects of the Ethekwini Municipality, which is established in 2011 as part of the Fashion Development Program. This initiative seeks to develop, promote, increase employment opportunities and entrepreneurship within the fashion industry. This program is aligned with the economic recovery plan of the municipality. One of the key focus sectors to drive socio-economic recovery is to provide support in the clothing and textile industry, which is classified as one of the high value-added sectors of employment and economic growth. Achievements of program include designers who have started off in mentorship program, not only have developed their own brands, but in turn, they have offered employment through opening their boutiques, and about 10 designers who benefited of this program and now supply a big retail store, Edgar's and other stores. Should laba abathungayo nabadesignayo sibalekelelile sebe supply izitolo ezinkulu njengo Edgar's njengamanje kuyilo mkhandlo waseThekwini. Kodwa sikubongayo futhi ukuthi furthermore, the program provides access to market opportunities. The Durban Fashion Fair Emporium store was launched in 2017 at Umlazi Mega City. Currently, it has 2 pop-up stores, the Gallery in Pavilion Shopping Center and Midway Crossing. The objectives of having these DFF Emporiums is to provide access to market. In addition, we pride ourselves that our local youth designers were able to showcase their designing skills when they partnered with Mr. Price to design a kit for Team South Africa for the Tokyo Olympics and Commonwealth Games. Somlomo lolusha olwangena kule program ilona olwathungela abadlali ababeyomela iSouth Africa eTokyo Olympics nakuma Commonwealth Games. Lezo impahla oyibona ku TV zivela beyithungwe la edolobheni laseThekwini zithungwa abantu abasha. Bakeries Development Program, we are also intervening in this regard. The secured sites are in Umlazi, KwaDabeka, Cortlands, Lamontville, and Zwelbomvu and Wiggins. The facilities include 3 full equipment containers at each site, which will serve the purpose of kitchen, storage, and the sales area. We are also supporting the beneficiaries, also receive training on access to market opportunities. There are 2 bakery cooperatives already financially supported by the city in Guamashu, and the second one is a Hammersteel. As part of this, we'll continue to support our local businesses. The tourism sector, Honorable Speaker, tourism remains our key sector that drive our economic growth. Following the contamination of our beaches by sewage, our image as a destination of choice was adversely affected. However, we are encouraged by the positive signs we are seeing as the city has shown by the statistics of the Easter holiday season. We are pleased that as the city, we experience an increase in the number of visitors during Easter holidays by over 65% compared to 63% in the same period last year. We have no doubt that when our visitors arrived in the city, they will find our streets and tourism precinct clean with no storage. During the winter season, eThekwini becomes an avenue of many because of our warm weather, and we are looking forward to host thousands of visitors who will be attending various signature events. These include Africa's Travel Indaba, which is taking place next month, the 57th edition of the World Trade Table Tennis Championship at Durban ICC from 28th to the 28th of May, the Africa's greatest horse racing and social event, the Hollywood Bets Durban July experience, is also expected to attract thousands of visitors to eThekwini. Already BRICS is also intending to coming to South Africa. As eThekwini, we are also bidding that they must come on this site at ICC to have their BRICS summit. Other major events that are coming to the city this year include Africa Procurement Indaba to be held in October 2023, the 4th Urban Agri World Summit in September, World Business Angels Investment Forums in November, Infrastructure and Investment Summit in October. To demonstrate that our tourism is turning to pre-COVID growth levels, we welcome the Queen Mary II, the longest and most luxurious cruise vessels. We also reopened flights routes between Durban and Harare, Istanbul, and Lusaka. We were also happy to see the return of Qatar and Emirates Airlines to King Shaka International Airport. Those are the things that we are achieving when it comes to tourism. Honorable Speaker, public transport is critical for our economy. Honorable Speaker, providing a safe, affordable, and reliable public transport is our top priority as a city. It is for this reason that we remain committed to see Go Durban starting operations. After many attempts to reach an agreement between the municipality and affected public transport operators, we are happy that the council took a bold decision recently to approve an amended approach for the implementation of this noble idea. This amended approach entails using existing public transport contracts in the city to initiate the implementation of Go Durban. uGo Durban uzokwenza-ke ukuthi abantu bengahambi kwi-traffic njengoba isuka kwaBesta iya ePantown. Abantu abazongena la kune-traffic khona izohamba nebhasi. These are designated lanes for the buses angezukuvinjwa umuntu. Ayaqala-ke lawo mabhasi asekhona awu-22 futhi-ke nawo akulungele ukuthi amelane nezidingo zabantu bakithi abakhubazekile. Public transport and climate change, it is with a distinct sense of pride and excitement to announce that the city has just received grant funding and 3 buses to initiate the feasibility study for the deployment of electric buses in the city as part of public transport improvement program. Shuthi asezukwabona-ke nathi kude kakhulu lamabhasi ahamba ngogesi asezoqala ukuba khona la eThekwini. This project is part of the initiative supported by Global Environment Facility with a support package valued at 170 million rands. From the 3 electric buses to be used in the feasibility study, we plan to increase our electric bus fleets to 20 within the 5-year period. Furthermore, this project to bus replacement program of the city, it will also add more value. Developments around the e-bus project follow hot on heels of the recent launch of the hydrogen strategy of the city. Transport interventions for people with disability. Transport for people with disability remains a challenge in the city, with both Sukuma and Dial-Ride services, which the city and the province currently provides not being adequate to meet the needs of the residents. Some of these buses are aging. However, the situation is set to change as the bus fleet will be increased by 4 buses before the end of this year, before the end of this financial year, before June this year. So besisinawo amabhasi awu-4 amelene nokugibelisa abantu bakithi abakhubazekile anakekele izidingo zabo. We are also procuring the new dial right vehicle to increase the fleet from 11 to 50. Since the IPTN requires the introduction of universal accessible fleet of these buses, we have made that arrangement for Go Durban. City regeneration. Honorable Speaker, as I about to take leave, our inner city is diverse, rich in culture and opportunities. It is also one of the largest revenue generators for the municipality due to its proximity to the port, which is a key component that makes Durban a logistics and economic hub. Over the years, the inner city has been characterized by urban decline, which has resulted in reduced private sector investment. To address this challenge, the municipality has adopted the inner city local area plan and regeneration strategy, which aimed at revitalizing and restoring the authenticity of the inner city and attracting investment. Currently, we have established a functional war room which brings together all spheres of government and other relevant stakeholders to implement the following interventions. Firstly, eradication of bad buildings in the precinct. Sesiqalile ukuwaqeda amabhilidi abolile ngaphakathi edolobheni. Abangeza ukufuna ukuthi bewaqede njengoba sesibayalelile sizowathatha over, sizofaka ibudget kube yithini esiwapendayo siwa rehabilitate besikhokhele mabe ngasikhokheli sibone siyowadla kanjani ezinkantolo. Okwesibili, increasing police visibility in the inner city. Nyusa izinga lamaphoyisa ngaphakathi kwi-CBD. Using technology and CCTV cameras to prevent crime, clamping down on health violation by inspecting food trading premises for both formal and informal traders. Abantu abangadayisela ukudla okubolile edolobheni elikhulu kangaka fanele sikuhlole konke ukudla okudayiswa kuleli dolobho kuhlanzekile yini, kwenziwe endaweni ehlanzekile, akubolile yini, akuzukugulisa yini abantu. The city has also defined key public realm improvements such as pool refurbishments in the inner city to ongoing tree and public space maintenance, coupled with more stringent by law enforcement to improve one of the key developmental nodes in the city. Some of the long-term projects include the redevelopment of the early morning market in line with our strategy to transform the underutilized commercial buildings and promoting the growth of inner city. In this regard, the city is implementing measures to assist in fast-tracking building applications for strategic inner city development such as Marina. I-Marina ke iyona waterfront yaseThekwini ngoba ngangazi ukuthi waterfront mina mhlambe lapha eBeachfront kwathiwa cha kona eBeachfront i-waterfront iba iMarina njengalapha eCape Town. So lapha ke eMtateni so wakhe iMarina enhle kakhulu engakholwe khona izosondela kuyona ngobuhle lapha South Africa. Sizoba neproject ibizwa ngeDurban Eye, isonde elikhulu elizozungeza abantu begibele kulona mayoqeda nje ipromenade lapha yamayo kwa Transnet nakhona sifaka lelo sondo lelo, kanti nethala linomsebenzi omuhle lizowenza la ku CBD ukuthi lilungise iWilson's Wharf iye kuba le ndawo esengathi awazi noma kulahlwa amaphepha kuyona noma kuphilwa kanjani kuyona. So ilezo zinto ke izokwenzeka nokuqeda ke abantu bakithi laba bahlezi ngaphansi kwama-bridge ngenxa yokuthi bahlezi ngaphansi kwesimo esipresenta nesimo sobugebengu kubantu baseThekwini. Abantu babanjwe inkunzi emgwaqweni abakwazi ukuhamba ngokukhuleka ku-Albert Park neminye imigwaqo. Ngakho ke sinohlelo la esithi khona sinikezwe imali isigungu esibizwa ngokuthi i-Mayor's Migrations Council yasinikeza 3.6 million. Lo 3.6 million e-Albert Park sizovula i-center la bazorehabilitatwa khona, bekhanselishwe khona, benikezwe khona ukudla, kodwa futhi sikwazi ukuthi laba sikwazi ukubabuyisela emndenini yabo, i-family restoration sikwazi ukubabuyisela emndenini yabo. Abanye ke abakuma-drugs siba rehabilitate. Yingakho ke sithi ukuthinteka kwabantu abadumile nomphakathi olimalayo kakhulukazi kuma-mass killings enzeke eMaranhill, eClermont, eFolweni, eVerulam, eNanda, kwaMashu nakwezinye indawo. Lezo zihlakale njengalezo ayilethi uzinzo edolobheni lakithi laseThekwini. Ngakho kubalekile sisukume silisane nobugebengu balolo hlobo lolo. To curb the killing of amakhosi, izinduna namakhansela as well. eThekwini municipality is working closely with the Minister of the Police, General Bheki-Cele, to deal with this scourge. This scourge of crime is really presenting challenges for the economic development of our city. Part of the interventions, sizo recruit amaphoyisa, ngicela kuzwakale kahle lokho. So recruit amaphoyisa eMetropolis awu 400 njalo ngonyaka. Kulo 400 ozorecruitwa njalo ngonyaka asifune ubuqhophololo bokuthi khona bazofakana ngomngane, khona bazofakana ngokwazana nangokuhlobana sifuna abantu be-apply kuvuleleke abantu beqashwe. Use of technology to fight crime in the CBD as well, CCTV cameras in rural areas and in township will be distributed. Okunye ke sifuna ukwenza somlomo ukuthi lama camera ngabe icamera ofika uyibuke kuyona ukuthi ugcobile umlomo noma ugcobile, kodwa kube icamera ezokuthatha usangena lapha ya njengoba sesikhulumile noSandral bayakwenza lokhu njengamanje sisambile kwayiwe inkantolo ukuyofuna igunya lokushintsha ama camera abo ukuthi mawungena nje toll gate isho ukuthi nangu khawundi uyisigebengu usebulala abantu abangaka noma usedlungule eindaweni ezingaka. Ilokho ke kuzobe kwenzeka ngalama camera. Body cameras for Metropolis sagcina kwabona kuma movie into yokuthi amaphoyisa abe nama body cameras la phambili kwawo mayidila necrime akwazi ukuzuma idistance ekude kubonakale nabantu noqoqa ubufakazi nje mangabe kukhona ubugebengu benzakalayo emakhesi ekwazi ukuba kwenziwa ngempumelelo. So siyakulungisa ke nalokho sesiyawathengela amaphoyisa ametro ama-camera ala emzimbeni. Training of specialized units in collaboration with SAPS such as DOG unit and public order policing is taking place as we speak. Usage of drones to monitor and detect crime is also implemented. So those are the interventions that are aimed at dealing with the crime in the city. Social cohesion. We know that we need to be a cohesive society. Social cohesion summit, crime and social cohesion summit, which took place last year, sought to bring together all spheres of government and civil society to develop strategies. The city is also a signatory to a memorandum of understanding with the United Nations through the country representatives and 35 local civil society partners to address social cohesion within the city. As a melting pot of cultures, eThekwini municipality will continue to build through arts and cultures to celebrate our rich heritage. Gender-based violence is one of the scourge that needs to be defeated in our society. We are working together with all stakeholders, including the men's sector, to present programs that will enable our people to fight this scourge. Through the eThekwini AIDS Council, chaired by the mayor, we have embarked on an aggressive campaign to encourage people to ensure they do not fall into the category of treatment interrupters. To reduce the infection rate among the youth, the municipality is also intensifying a program of educating young people about benefits of using PrEP to prevent HIV and AIDS. Because we recognize that the fight against GBV and femicide, HIV, AIDS, TB, and sexually transmitted infections requires a multi-pronged approach. We actively engage, Honorable Speaker, with men's sector to become agents of change. Collection and enhancement of our revenue, we want to assure the public that we are looking at various options to improve the billing system of eThekwini to enhance revenue collection, which will result in positive cash flows and quality service delivered. Abantu bathola ama-bills aphezulu eThekwini ngenxa ukuthi isystem yethu ibibuye ingasebenzi kahle ngenxa okungafundwa kwamamitha. Amamitha angafundwa isikhathi eside. Siyakushintsha ke lokho ukufundwa kwamamitha kuyasuka kule minyango ka-water nomnyango ka-electricity izokwenziwa i-revenue department izorecruit abantu abaningi abasha nama-graduates ukuqinisekisa ukuthi ayafundisiswa kahle amamitha eThekwini abantu bethola amabhili afanele. Kodwa mawuthola ibhili engasiyona nengaqondile kahle ebiza kakhulu unelungelo lokuza lapha eFlorence Mkhize uzobeka khona isikhalazo sakho. Bakhona abaningi abasizakalile behliselwa ama-bills abo ngoba kubonakala kwenzeke iphutha overestimate kunokuthi behlinzeke ngemali ekuyona abayisebenzisile. Meter reading is going to be streamlined, as we have already said. Rate of collections. As of 31 March 2023, the municipality collections have improved from 92% to 93%. This is expected to continue improving the target of 95% by the end of financial year. The following will be done. Weekly meetings are being held to assess the progress and impact of these disconnections. Customers are also being encouraged to come forward. Awareness of campaigns are also being done to customers, which are encouraged to register to municipal app for e-service. Singalokho sithola amabhili angena emaposini sonke manje ngoba sesinamafoni sesiyakwazi ukungena kwi-e-service yakwamasipala uthola ibhili yakho futhi iyashesha lo nto yenza ukuthi usheshe ukwazi ukuthi uthele usizo. We encourage qualifying customers to take advantage of this city debt relief program when it is available, where payment arrangements are made with benefit of interest, write-offs and capital debts reduction. So siyabanxusa-ke abantu bakithi behlomule kulolu hlelo esicisha kulona ikweletu uma ngabe kutholakala ukuthi uyaqualifya ukuthi isikweletu sakho sisulwe. Bakhona-ke abasulelwe lezo ikweletu nabanye akade beza ngaphambili njengoba kokubekwe isinqumo sokuthi kuvalwa nini lelo hlelo lugcine selivaliweke ngesikhathi wanqunyele sona. Honorable councillors, as a responsive government, we have listened to complaints from our customers that all our call centers are inefficient with long call waiting times. In this regard, the city will be implementing an integrated customer relations management system to improve our customer experience. Osizakala center bethu bazokwazi ukusiza abantu ke ukuthi bethole usizo oluvela kwamasipala. Honorable Speaker, while sports, arts and culture are regarded as leisure activities, we appreciate the important role this sector plays in defining who we are as a nation. In this regard, the city continues to invest in building libraries, community centers, and sport facilities. In the last 5 years, the municipality constructed the following facilities: Amauti Library, 22 million rands, Yellowwood Park Hall renovations, Heavenside Hall renovations, upgrade of Japanese Garden, Mobeni Height crematorial stack, Whetstone Library roof reinstatement, Lamontville Hall renovation, upgrade of Kwadenge Community Hall, upgrade of Tuzuma G Sport Field, Luganda Community Hall, Mpola Library, Library, and other libraries. Kungekudala siyovula i-library se-Ward 15 lapha ya HL Mnyama enhle i-library le enhle kakhulu. Sport facilities, Rotary Stadium upgrade has been done. Siripet Ground, Abraham Sport Facility, JL Dube, will be looked at in this forthcoming financial year. Eastbury top and bottom. Amanye ama library amanye ama sport field azolungiswa aba namanzi njalo eyalapha ya eMgababa eMnini ne sport field salapha eChesterville. Rehabilitation of the following swimming pools will take place. Those swimming pools are listed there. Land release strategy. Honorable Speaker, the municipality recently released land to 23 churches for the purposes of worship sites and awarded 9 leases to black-owned companies for periods ranging from 30 to 45 years. Sikhululele amabandla, amasonto, amasite amanye ade bewasebenzisa bengenalo igunya lokuba nobunikazi kuona, sizobanikeza amatayitela ukuthi bewasebenzise ngokuphelele lawo masite ngoba sifuna kwande namasonto kungandi ubugebengu kuphela nama-taverns. The strategy will assist the municipality to achieve its developmental objective and stimulate economic activities and black economic empowerment through the usage of land. Sinxusa bonke-ke abawosomabhizinisi ukuthi sine strategy sisi-approvile saseThekwini esikhishwa komhlaba. Masikhipha umhlaba-ke sibake umgomo othi blacks in general and Africans in particular. So abantu bakithi kade beshiwe eceleni makukhulunywa ngeproperty eThekwini sithi abangeneke kwi-property development bekwazi ukuhlomula nabo kungahlomula kade behlomula ngaphambilini. Land and social purposes to churches and non-governmental organizations is sold at 90% discount. Banikeza discount ka 90% ukuthi bekwazi ukuthola lemhlaba. We have identified over 200 properties that are occupied by churches and social organizations that were granted PTOs during apartheid. Sithi ngoba uhulumeni wentando yeningi le sibanika amatayitela manje not ama PTOs. Durban ICC and Moses Mabhida and Ushaka, COVID-19 adversely affected the operations of these entities. This can be attributed to the comprehensive economic recovery plan that we have developed as a city, that these entities, they are now funding their feet again. The Inkosi Albert Luthuli ICC has now become a hive of activity again. The country and the world continues to make it their unrivaled choice of conference. Since its establishment, the ICC has scooped several awards for being the best convention center in Africa. The ICC iyona ithiwe ingcono kunawo wonke akhona eAfrika. I-ICC yaseThekwini. Mawuthiwa yase-Africa ke kushuthi uzoqala ukomperishe ukuthi yase Cape Town ukuthi ayikho ngcono kuneyala. Comparative yasegusha ukuthi ayikho ngcono kuneyala iAfrica yonke yile ekuthiwa ihamba phambili. Isiwaskupe wonke lama awards kumanje nominatiwe again ukuthi iphinde futhi iwin asingabazi izowina. So we, Honorable Speaker, we were shocked by outlandish reports in the media that the Moses Mabhida Stadium was on the brink of collapsing. To the contrary, the stadium has hosted and has a stream of mega events coming up. This is a clear demonstration that this sporting facility continues to tower above other stadia in the country. Ushaga Marine Theme Park continues to be our premier tourism attraction. However, we need to acknowledge that unlike our other entities, it has struggled to get back to pre-COVID-19 levels. As a result, the management of the entity has conceived a turnaround strategy that will see all retailing space being occupied soon, thus returning it back to its glory days. We are happy to announce that Ushaga, Marine and ICC as our entities continue to get a clean audit of health according to the Auditor General. They are getting clean audits. Participation in international forums, the international forums to contribute towards a better city, country and the world. The municipality has established a variety of strategic partnerships and programs at a regional and global level. These strategic partnerships are fundamental in ensuring the municipality achieves the vision of being an Africa's most caring and livable city, and also inform policy development within our municipality. The municipality has exhibited the implementation of Sustainable Development Goal 17 on partnerships by actively engaging strategic partners such as the United Cities and Local Government C40 Cities, International Council for Local Environmental Initiatives, African Forum of Urban Safety, United Nations South Africa Regional and headquarters in New York to foster partnerships to enable our development. We have used this partnership to learn, share and develop local solutions to some of the challenges that we are faced with as a municipality. Strategical partnerships between cities and global development organizations have been highly beneficial for both parties. These collaborations have led to implementation of innovation solutions to some of local development challenges. The city is able to tap into knowledge and experience of these organizations and adapt to innovative solutions to our challenges. Ingakho ngolwesine kusasa sihamba siya eCopenhagen nakhona sawufunda okuningi ngeclimate change. Sizobuya ngomhla ka3. Climate change is presenting the city and the residents with challenges that require all of us together to work together to deal with this challenge. In March 2007, a coastal storm damaged large parts of our coastline and infrastructure and the recent flood events. As we now move towards the El Nino phase, we need to prepare Durban for water scarcity, potentially similar to that we experienced in 2016. The last time there was an El Nino event, therefore we are required to adapt to the extreme weather patterns, whether it is cold, heat, flood or drought. As a eThekwini municipality, we have been very active in climate change space for almost 20 years. In 2011, we hosted 17 conference of the parties of COP17, which helped raise awareness of climate change amongst our leaders and our people. In 2015, our municipal council approved the continent's first integrated mitigation and adaptation strategy called Durban Climate Change Strategy. In 2019, we were the first city in Africa, in African continent to approve the Durban Climate Action Plan, where we increase our climate change ambitions to be consistent with a world where average warming does not exceed 1.5 degrees. To prepare our city for climate change, ngoba lesimo sokuquwa wezulu sazoba nathi asikeze ukuma, we have developed programs that support the maintenance of our ecosystems like forests, grasslands and rivers to provide job opportunities, whilst healthy ecosystems provide a buffer from the worst impact of climate change. These programs include the following: Sihlanzimvelo, Cities Partnership with Green Corridors, the Ola River Project, the Palmet Catchment Rehabilitation Project. Honorable Speaker, councillors and people of eThekwini, the plan we have presented require all of us to work together to build a city of dreams. We want to commit ourselves that as we implement this bold and decisive program, no one will be left behind. We want to take this opportunity to thank the political and administrative leadership of the municipality for their support and guidance in preparing this State of the City address. Our gratitude also goes to political parties that continue to work with us. Your support goes a long way in accelerating service delivery to bring a better life for all residents of eThekwini. We call upon doomsayers who were pulling in an opposite direction when we were facing difficulties in the aftermath of the floods to join us as well in this journey of rebuilding our beautiful city. Some leaders of the opposition went as far as discouraging tourists to invest and investors from coming to our shores, particularly during the festive season. Kodwa sikujeka sekukhala bonke umnotho awenzanga kahle omncango nabanye. Honorable speakers, the only way we can build a united and prosperous city is when we embrace our unity in diversity as a strength. Let us not allow ideological differences to divide us as a city. As the people of eThekwini, we have endured all these catastrophic events together. And as we rise, let us hold each other's hand and rise together. We must emphasize that under expenditure, irregular, wasteful, and fruitless expenditure are the enemy of our society and the progress. Therefore, we'll always frown upon it and apply any form of consequence management to the culprits, irrespective of their positions. Equally, any act or conduct of fraud and corruption shall be dealt with decisively without any fear, favor, or prejudice, because we hold the view that corruption is tantamount to stealing from the poor. Because this is a criminal act, we shall ensure that not only consequence management is applied, but the municipality must also recover all proceeds of crime. Lastly, a big thank you to African National Congress for entrusting me with this huge responsibility of leading this great city in Africa. I also want to express my gratitude and humility to my family, who are also present today, whose sacrifices allow me to carry out this huge responsibility. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a happy Freedom Day. Amanda!
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor. Thank you very much, His Worship, Councillor Nkosi Kaunda. May I have your attention? There are few announcements I want to make. Bengicela ukuthi umahlukana la, I will give councillors or political parties 1.5 hours for break, to have lunch, and also to have caucuses. Emveni kwalokho sizobuyela semvenu siqhubeke nomsebenzi we-council. Ngicela ukuthi amalungu omphakathi wonke ahloniphile uma siwamema eza la. Ngicela menisuka la ningabuyele emabhasini, niwele umgaqo niye kulesakhiwo kuthiwa yi-exhibition center, lapho umasipala ulungise khona isidlo sasemini, ukuze nikwazi ukuthi nithola amandla emveni kokuhlala isikhathi esingaka. Zonke ihambeli zethu, amalungu esishamthetho, abefundisi, nazo zonke icukuthwane zethu, socela ukuthi nonke niye ehholo, hall number 4, lapho ke isidlo sasemini silungiswe khona. ngalawo mazwi amafushane ngifisa ukubonga ubaba umeya nginibonge nonke ngokufika kwenu ndunankulu siyabonga amalungu eshamthetho amakhosi namakhansela wonke ngiyacela sibuye ngo4 o'clock siye semvenu amalungu omphakathi avumelekile ukuthi nawo asengaba ingcenye yomhlangano wecouncil uqala ngo4 siyabonga ningakhuleka ke siyothola isidlo semini
Hayi